Michael Myers.
Yeah, he was the guy that was after you.
The little kid who killed his sister.
Yeah.
I shot him 6 times.
Dr. Loomis, please listen to me. There's a file on Michael Myers that nobody knew about.
I've seen everything.
Is this some kind of joke? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight.
You don't know what death is.
Welcome, everybody, to Midnight Cinema, your deep dive into cult classic sci-fi horror movies. Warning, spoilers ahead. I am Art Hennessy in San Diego, California.
I'm once again happy to return as Sam Loomis, and I'm happy to be doing another podcast about my life.
Sam Loomis back on the scene, Erik, of this week's podcast.
Because it's evil.
That's right. What? This week, Erik, we're talking about Halloween 2, another evil movie. Halloween 2 was released in 1981. It is directed by Rick Rosenthal. It stars Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance, Dick Warlock, we'll talk about it, and Dana Carvey.
What are you talking about? Dana Carvey as the church lady? No. Where's Michael Myers? Maybe Satan. Michael, are you Satan?
We're going to talk about it. Yeah. But this is a sequel, Erik, and we don't do a lot of sequels so far here on Midnight Cinema.
Have we done any art sequels?
No. I think for me, I think technically you could consider Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead, a sequel to Night of the Living Dead. But it's really kind of just in a trilogy of films that he made. I always want to say Fright Night 2011, but that's a reboot, remake.
Reimagining or whatever. Well, this is actually not necessarily a sequel. It's a immediate continuation of the story. It's just it's like part 2. So I think it's not really a sequel, so maybe we're good.
It comes right after. Yeah. Now, I will say that this movie came out a couple of years after the first one. Obviously, a massive, massive hit. And those of you who know about Halloween, you would know John Carpenter made Halloween with his producing partner, Deborah Hill. He directed it, scored it, and you noticed I didn't say directed by John Carpenter on this one.
No, John Carpenter was like, I'm a one and done. This is Halloween's about this evil shape, the boogeyman, and that's it. We don't know what happens. He's gone. And then they went, you have to do another one. You have to change. So he drank a bunch of beers and tried to come up with some new idea, but he refused to direct it. But he had a big hand in it. He pulled a Spielberg where he was like, this is boring. There's not enough blood. So he edited it and all this stuff.
Did actual reshoots. We'll talk about some of them as we go on, which it's that thing, Erik, you and I have talked about it with other movies where you sit there and you go, so what was this before they put some of these scenes in? You kind of wonder what was there, because there's definitely some pretty good scenes in here that we're going to talk about that were done in reshoots. But also, even the score wasn't entirely, I guess, John Carpenter, but it's heavily, heavily influenced by his original score.
I'm glad you said that, Art, because I deliberately didn't go back and watch Halloween, which we saw recently, you and I. But when I was listening to the score, I'm like, is this the score on acid or something? It seemed like it was much faster. And when we'll talk about one scene where I think they just redid the music, and I was actually upset. Like, what are you guys doing?
They're doing some different things, Erik. They're shaking it up.
They're shaking it up. And for Halloween fans, you'll know.
Speak of shaking it up, Erik, the original movie, $350,000 or so was a budget. This one's $2.5 million they put into this one. So this is a big jump up for this movie.
Which is interesting, Art, when you see them back to back. You're like, okay, well, were they able to use more fake leaves, but they paid a big price for them? Where did the budget go?
I think you see it. You see, it's very clear to me that the budget got to glow up here. And we'll talk about it as we go
Did
on.
you say blow up?
Glow up.
The budget.
Glow up, but there's a blow up. This movie has a dynamite fund on it, I think.
Dynamite fund. That's great. The dynamite fund. Well, we like exploding vehicles, don't we?
Yeah, so this movie was released. It did pretty well. I do want to mention, though, this movie comes out post Friday the 13th. So the original one is before Friday the 13th hit the culture. This is after. So we're in the wake of that. And all the slasher movies that Halloween spawned, the original Halloween, are now flooding the theaters and doing very well. They're making money, these slasher movies. So it's kind of like they have to compete with the things that they've created now.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to stoop to conquer because he didn't want to do, I think John Carpenter was like, you know what, we have to put a little bit of gore and a couple of boobs, a couple more boobs. I mean, we had boobs in the first one, let's face it.
We did.
But yeah, I think he had to compete with what he created. So
yeah.
cool. I like that. I like it.
So there's stuff to talk about here, Eric. So let's get into it.
Oh,
so
start?
Yeah, let's start.
Are we going to start? Let's start then.
So first thing is, we talked last time about the famous openings of these movies. Mustafa Akkad presents. But here, first we see Universal Pictures is distributing this movie. So there's the difference.
Oh, plus, the difference is Jamie Lee Curtis gets billing along with Donald Pleasance.
They get the double credit billing.
Yes.
But yeah, so
double credit.
They do that famous billing where one is on the left and one is on the right, but the one on the right is higher. So one is first, but one is above.
Oh, egos. Oh, you egos out there.
Famously, I think the first time that happened was The Towering Inferno with Steve McQueen and Paul Newman.
God. I know.
That was
all right. Yes. We won't get into that, but yes, rivalry up the butt. I mean, It was just crazy. So
that was the first time I think studios did that. And also the opening doesn't open with the score from Carpenter. It opens with a 1930s or 40s tune, Mr. Sandman. That's our opening here.
Yep. And I remember watching it. I loved it. I loved that it was Mr. Sandman because it's not scary, but it is when you're thinking, oh my God, this is the Sandman, the boogeyman.
Yes.
It's
almost childlike.
Yeah.
First movie, if you'll remember, opened with kids doing a little chant about Halloween, witches and goblins on Halloween night. And this is like, I agree with you. This is a peppy song, Mr. Sandman. The Chordettes, I think it is.
I don't
the actual
know.
group. But yeah, I agree. It's like it's a zig or a zag. I don't know what you want to call it, but it works for me. I like that. But we're going to open with pretty much what we saw at the end of the last movie. You might remember, Eric, that was a pretty common thing that they would do back in the day, is you would go to the movies to see a sequel, and the first 5 minutes would basically be the end of the movie that was before it.
Yes.
That was
the
common.
little, not a recap, but yeah, it's just giving you the last couple of minutes. So this is where you see that Laurie's being attacked by, which we now know as Michael Myers. And this is where, when I was watching it, we see her fighting with him, and Donald Pleasance is coming in. And two things I noticed was this is where the soundtrack was amped up. It seemed like it was almost silly to me. It was like, and then I think I must have added more Laurie Strode. I called it gurgling, like gagging noises. She kept going, I mean, because she didn't get that hurt. She hurt her ankle and she got a scratch, but they want to show her as really hurt. So they added all this stuff. But
she's getting attacked.
And they don't reshoot anything up until he shoots Michael Myers. And I also noticed in Halloween, the first one, when he pulls the mask on, you saw more of him. This one, they're like, nope, something happened there.
They cut out seeing his full face.
Yes.
At the end.
Yeah.
They definitely did.
That's very interesting. I wouldn't have noticed that had I not been doing this podcast with you. And then he shoots him. And what I love is they reshot that scene. So It looks a little different. But he shoots him 6 times in the original movie. We are clear on this. Everybody, he shoots him 6 times. So in the Halloween 2, he shoots him and you hear 7 gunshots. It's a big dispute for Halloweeners.
Yeah.
All you Halloweeners out there. We hear 7 gunshots.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love is when you see where Michael Myers fell and he disappears, because Michael Myers is gone. I guess we have to act like nobody's seen the original Halloween. So this killer's after this babysitter. He's supernatural. He gets shot and he falls off the balcony. They look down and he's gone. He fell on the grass. But this time, Art, when they go down there, this is where we start with this movie, is Donald Pleasance, the psychiatrist who's hunting down Michael. He goes and there's this amazing imprint, like Wile E. Coyote imprint in the grass. Oh, if it doesn't look like it's a Wile E. Coyote, like boing, like Roger Rabbit just broke through the glass. It's a kind of ridiculous imprint of the Michael Myers was once here. He's a heavy dude.
And I will point out, you mentioned upping the gore. There's blood there, and Loomis just kind of puts his hand, Dr. Loomis. We should say Donald Pleasance again here. Dr. Loomis. So, Erik, Donald Pleasance gets a popcorn bucket award here. This is the second movie we're talking about Donald Pleasance here, reprising his role as Dr. Sam Loomis. And then we get the neighbor comes out of his house, this exchange. Hey, what's going on over there? We already learned from the last movie that the neighbors around here, I don't know what they turned off the lights on Laurie Strode, on Jamie Lee Curtis, and shut the windows when she was trying to get rescued. This guy, I mean, what's really interesting, Erik, is this guy just heard here in this movie 7 shots, like clear
6
gunshots. 6. But he heard these gunshots and he comes out and he's sort of like just casually like, hey, what's going on?
I know. Like he thinks the trick-or-treaters carry guns, shooting them off in the streets. It's like, I've been scared. I think he says, I've been scared half to death.
Trick-or-treated to death.
Trick-or-treated to death, yeah. And then we get Loomis, just great lines. You don't know what death is. You don't.
Okay, let's hold. So Loomis says a lot of things. He did in the last movie, and this movie too, Erik. He says things, and I'm like, the guy goes, I've been trick-or-treated to death. Loomis says, you don't know what death is. So what, it sounds, at first you're like, ooh. But then when you think about it for 2 seconds, you're like, what does that response actually mean?
He's a psychiatrist. You got to kind of get your own take on what it means, Art. What is... you don't know what death is. Let's think about that for a while. Our next session, we'll see if you have any answers.
So Loomis does the look around, looking all around the neighborhood, and we start to get the John Carpenter score. And we're going to go into the credits here with another pumpkin, a different pumpkin this time, Erik.
It's great.
Opening credits. I was going to ask, what did you think of this one?
I loved it because you're like, this is the pumpkin I know and love. Music a little bit, going a little hotter.
Yes.
But the pumpkin comes towards you like before, but splits very slowly. And we got this, I think, an awesome looking skull, right?
Great. Because it's a little offset and morphed in a weird, almost like it survived Chernobyl. It's the skull of somebody that was like born after Chernobyl or something. It's like the mouth is a little weird and the eyes. It's almost distorted, the skull. So it's kind of interesting, and it's peeling back the pumpkin all in one shot. They did this, zooming into the pumpkin. They peeled it back, and it has sort of the membranes inside separating. And we go right into that eye, right into the eye of the pumpkin, the skull, and out the other side into Michael Myers' POV.
I thought you were going to say into Donald Pleasance.
No,
Dr. Loomis's POV. What's going on? Yeah, the POV of Mike. So we know he's alive, and he's kind of walking around the neighborhood, and we can see in the distance. This is what I love about Halloween 2 is because now you're seeing his Michael Myers' point of view of what we saw. So you see Donald Pleasance in the distance, and you can hear him, and he's like, I shot him 6 times. You may have heard 7, but that's because they screwed up on the editing. That's 6 times. I think he said it like 6 times. 6 times in case you didn't hear me.
But he's getting into the car with Sheriff Brackett, and you can kind of hear, if you listen, Sheriff Brackett doing his like, all right, calm down, calm down. That's not what he's saying, but the whole attitude is like, all right. Yeah, just.
Yeah, and because the sheriff doesn't yet know that there's been 3 murders.
No.
So nobody actually knows.
Nobody. Donald Pleasance doesn't know.
No, he doesn't.
He just thinks the guy's out there. And so we're watching all that from a distance, from Michael Myers' point of view down the alleyway. And it's nice little touches. It's weird, though, because it seems like it was this nice suburban neighborhood, but he's now walking through a shanty town or something.
The characters are a little weird.
But what is this neighbor? Like, they look like ramshackle buildings that are all separated by crappy wooden fences. I was like, we were just at the Doyle house, which is this beautiful. I'm like, is this the edge of the tracks for the town of Haddonfield? Like right after that street, you go into a different part of town.
They're blue collar people. You can tell because when he's spying in this window, there's an older woman with just a bathrobe, and she's making I think they're ham. She's got a ham hock, and she's making ham sandwiches, and her dialogue is ridiculously fun. You want mayonnaise on your sandwich or mustard? Yeah. Where did they live?
By the way, there's a pumpkin in that window, Erik. I thought you saw that pumpkin. Yep. It's not bad, right? It's carved pretty intricately.
You're only allowed 1 pumpkin in Haddonfield per family, and this couple. This woman in curlers making a late dinner for her deadbeat husband I think he's watching what, Dawn of the
Dr.
Dead?
Dementia. The horror marathon is on.
Yeah.
And it's starting and it's Night of the Living Dead, George Romero's Night of the Living Dead.
And she's like, I forget what his name is, but you sleep again? Like, where did they come from originally? They must have moved to Haddonfield because everybody's dialect in here is crazy. What you doing? Watching that goddamn movie?
Yeah. So in the background, you have the Dr. Dementia stuff, like more mind-melting madness coming up. And then you have George Romero with the opening scene of Night of the Living Dead with, they're coming to get you, Barbara. And we know that Michael is outside this house as they're watching this. So it's an interesting little juxtaposition, I thought, there. And then we start to get what we saw in the first movie, like the shots with Michael suddenly in the background. Because she's looking at the TV, the husband's looking at the TV, and we see in the kitchen, Michael has just sort of stepped in the door, and he's in the kitchen, and you're probably thinking, oh boy, this old woman's, that's it. They're going to get it. But no, Michael reaches for a ham sandwich, maybe?
He eats a sandwich first. He grabs the knife, he puts mayonnaise and mustard on it, and he takes the sandwich.
First of all, Erik, you mentioned before, that sandwich, I was like, those are the biggest slices of ham on that sandwich.
Yeah, they got a good butcher shop in Haddonfield because that's like a Thanksgiving ham or a Christmas ham.
And there's nothing else. It's just a slice of ham. It's just a ham on white bread.
Bread.
Just ham
and
on
she's
white
got
bread.
what I love is she's got a little drawer that you pull out. It's like a cutting board, but you pull it out from the bottom of the counter. I love that. And Mike reaches for the knife. Mm-hmm. I guess not the sandwich because he doesn't like ham, but his hands are bloody.
Yeah. Keep that in mind, by the way, for a little later.
Yeah, for some reason he's bloody and he grabs the knife and he doesn't kill the couple.
Nope. Heads out. But then she's going to walk over and, of course, half looking, she's watching the TV, puts her hand in the blood on the cutting board and looks, and she just screams. I think in time with the Night of the Living Dead movie, by the way, right in time with that, she screams just like Barbara's screaming or something on the TV.
Yeah.
And it sort of fades out and we see Michael's maybe a house down, and okay, this is going to be better pickings for him because a woman comes out who looks right up his alley for his victims.
She's definitely a not 28-year-old babysitter. But same thing as our last movie where he killed off not 28-year-old babysitters. This woman's on the phone and she hears screaming. So she's talking to somebody on the phone. He's looking in the window, and then she comes out to the yard. And I know you have the same dialogue as I do, but she gets back on the phone and starts talking about the neighbors.
Yeah.
She knows they're a couple. And she's saying how the wife's always picking on the husband. And then she says, I know you know this. But
he probably just decided to start beating her. And it's so casual that she says it.
She throws it away like he probably went out drinking again. Oh, he probably got angry, started to beat her half to death.
Because she's always
call the police.
Because she's always picking on him. So
it's crazy.
He probably just, Eric, he probably just decided to haul off and smack her.
Yeah.
So.
He didn't like that ham sandwich. Another ham sandwich, dang it, woman.
Some like casual domestic violence talk to start the.
He just probably started.
Did Michael Myers listen to that and go like, ooh?
Yeah.
Like he goes like.
He goes back to the house to kill the guy. He holds a finger up and then he goes back to the house.
This friend who's talking to, we learn her name is Alice, this girl in the house, is saying, it's all over the news. Have you heard? A girl got murdered. And she's like, what? And they turn on the radio and it's all over the radio on there. And so she's getting that news while in the background, we see the door is opening and he's sneaking into the house there in the background.
Yes, he decides, okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's looking around because she is told that the murders it's right down the street.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear the sirens. And then she goes to look around and we have, I'm calling it pop-up Michael, right?
Pop-up with some flair. Like it's a pop-up where he sort of comes up off his jaunty, I would say. Like, right?
He's basically not on his knees. He's in a crouch position like a runner, waiting for her to come in the room so he can pop up. That's he just, and then we get that. Boing.
I have to say, it got me though. It got me my first watch. I hadn't seen Halloween 2 in a while, and I knew the kill was coming, but that pop-up, I jumped. It got me, but I did notice he kind of almost left his feet when he popped up. It was like, I was like, oh, it's like he's Peter Pan or something. It's like he's got a little magic flair to him. Yeah.
I'm just gonna stab you.
But upping the gore here, once again, there's a blood splatter across her face when he kills her. Bwah, right across her
and you
face.
don't see, Art, the stabbing. You don't necessarily see. It's a very interesting cut because it's so quick. It's like you don't even know where he stabbed her. But yeah, the spray comes up. It's just a weird cut, but it's blood, and we're not used to that from the other movie. So there's blood.
I will point out this too. He pulls her head back, and it's the way the shot is framed. By the way, John Carpenter shot this little sequence here. He actually, this was a reshoot. This wasn't in the original movie. This kill with Alice here. And what is interesting is and you can tell the skill with what Carpenter's doing. Did you notice he pulls back her head and then Michael Myers, half his face is shown over her face, but we see Michael's eyeball through the mask, which we didn't in the last movie. Those eye holes were always dark in the movie.
Yes.
We never saw the eyeball, but here we clearly see his eye looking out. I noticed that.
Which is what I prefer. And when you go down, maybe at the end of the podcast, we'll talk about when you go down the Michael Myers mask journey. This is a new Michael Myers, same mask, but he has a different facial structure. So they're using the same mask, and the way it fit was the way it fits. So he looks a little like poofier. So his head was a different shape, and that's why you can sometimes see his eyes, things like that. But I still think this is a scary mask.
Yeah. And let's just briefly get into it then. This is a new Michael Myers behind the mask here. It's a guy named Dick Warlock, and he's a stunt guy. Kurt Russell's stunt guy for a little bit, I guess. Escaped from New York. And he's shorter than our original Michael Myers. He's about 5'9", they said, or 5'10". So he's a little shorter than Nick Castle, who was the person in the first movie.
Technically.
But he got the job. You hear, when you go down the trivia rabbit hole, Eric, you hear it's so crazy. You just hear tons of different stories. But I heard he wanted it, so he put on the mask. and he went to the director's office. The guy who was making the movie, Rosenthal, and he stood in the doorway and wouldn't say anything. And so Rick Rosenthal was like, hey, haha, funny. And he just kept standing there looking at him. And then that's the tale that they tell. And he was like, he is creepy. And they hired him for this. That's what I heard. Anyways,
that's the lore. That's the lore that I will agree with.
Okay.
We'll look on Snopes and see if it's real.
See if that's true.
Yeah.
New guy.
We have the ambulance is now taking Laurie Strode. So she's in an ambulance and being taken away to the Haddonfield Hospital. And for some reason, I don't know why she's thinking that this is what happens whenever you go in an ambulance, but she's like, don't let them put me to sleep. I'm like, why would they put you to sleep? I mean, you got maybe a broken leg and a scratch on your arm. What's your problem? Why do you think they would do that? And also, fun fact is our heroine, this is the 80s. So 80s haircuts that were very popular for women was short and high. And she had already cut her hair. So this is a very, very believable wig.
I was going to ask you, Erik, because Erik, you've been known on this podcast to have some opinions about wigs, hair pieces, facial hair, in the makeup department. And so I was going to ask you, what's going on with this wig? What do you think is happening here? Because it does look a little off and weird, and it doesn't.
It is a really good version, the best they could do. But I was looking long and hard for the little seams, couldn't find it. But her hair is just the wig is too perfect for messy hair, and it's a slightly different color than her original hair. But I think they did a good job. You're just like, I don't
think they did a good job. Well, I think it's distracting her hair.
Well, guess what, Art? I'm the professional with
you are. I'm going to go with your thing,
You're
but
not.
I thought it was a little, but it doesn't. I can see what they were going for. Maybe I'll ask you. It seems like when you said it's too perfect, I think that's what's the difference is. It seems like it has too much volume compared to her hair in the original movie, right?
Yes, agreed.
Okay,
agreed.
Yeah.
Volume is yes,
but this isn't a wig podcast.
Yes, it is.
It is.
We can make up with Erik and
Okay. And we should say there are 2 EMTs that are taking her to the hospital, and one of them guy says to the other one. He says, hey, you know this chick? This guy. So one of the EMTs already, we just get a little of his character. You know this chick? And the other one says, yeah, he went to school with my brother. So he's kind of got at least a connection. He knows who she is. And everybody seems to know the Strodes in Haddonfield.
So
Do you notice that going through
Laurie
this movie?
Strode.
Yeah, everybody. Oh, that's Strode. Strode Realty? That's what.
That's probably why, because her dad's been selling the houses.
Oh, and he has like pictures on benches everywhere, like all over the thing.
The bus.
Yeah. Yeah, Strode Realty.
Take a stab at this house.
Did it help or hurt the business? I wonder, this whole thing.
Must have just property values must have.
Well, we're going to find out. They're at some sort of a key party or something later. So, yes, she goes in and we're going to see that she comes to the hospital, and they're going to bring her to the hospital, and it's eerily empty, the hospital.
This is a weird hospital. And what I love is nothing to do with the story at all. We have to get some more gore in as a mom takes her kid out of the car and he's holding a big towel up against his face. And he's dressed like a pirate. He's like, talking like this. And then you see that the kid has a razor blade in his tongue.
You're like cringing because you're just thinking, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw this as a still because I was Fangoria magazine or something like that, where they were talking about how gory this Halloween 2 was. And so they show you the still of this kid. And this kid, Art, maybe you don't know.
I don't. I think I don't know.
Oh, I'm so excited then.
Okay.
It would be technically a popcorn bucket award.
For what?
Mrs. Covid.
Oh, it's a popcorn bucket award.
I found a coin.
Oh, that kid.
It's our kid from the fog. It's
fantastic. Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he must have used them in the fog after this.
Good for him, because 2 good scenes, pretty memorable.
Yeah.
It's in some pretty memorable horror scenes, because this you do remember this from this movie, but it's clearly based on that was at least when we were kids. Maybe that still goes around. The idea was people were putting razor blades in the candy, and if you bit into the candy, there would be a razor blade in it.
Yeah, apples. Like, we're all giving out apples now. We give out apples, people are going to break our windows. We have to give out like mega sized candy. People now come to our house art because they want that big candy bar. If we don't deliver, you imagine we gave out like pennies, rolls of pennies. That's for you. It's a gift certificate to McDonald's. I mean, yeah, but the kid, why would you bite into an apple that you got at Halloween, you dummy?
But it was based on that source.
Yeah, it was based on, there's no proof, everyone.
No.
It ever happened, that poison candy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So send your kids out there. Don't worry about anything.
Let them bite into an apple. But what I love is when they go to the hospital art, they make the kid wait. They don't rush him to like the emergency room. They're like, oh, you're going to have to wait.
The daughter of Strode Realty is coming in, Erik. Yeah, everything's got to stop in the hospital.
Her arm hurts.
Can we talk for a second? You notice it here about, I know this is 1978, technically, that this movie is supposed to be coming, but why do the cars all look like they're from 1957? Every car in this parking lot looks like the T-Birds are going to race it at Thunder Road in Greece.
Yeah, I think John Carpenter loves this car because, I don't know, but like John Carpenter directed Christine, right? So these are basically all Christine cars roaming around Haddonfield.
Yes.
You expect the cast of Grease is coming out. Sandy, watch out, it's a murderer around town. Somebody's gonna kill him.
Michael's driving it with that can opener on the wheel. Like
yeah, he's slashing tires. Getting people pregnant.
Yeah, he comes out, steps out, but he's got the comb, the switchblade comb, and he's like, yeah, exactly. Well, he's already got the jumpsuit on, the mechanic's jumpsuit, so he could do Grease Lightning. He could do that number.
Oh my
right there.
gosh! Yeah. And Grease 2, the lead was named Michael.
Oh, yeah.
What would they say if it knew it was Michael? That's awesome. All right, good segue, buddy.
So we're going to get introduced to the hospital staff here. We're going to start to get introduced a little bit. Yeah.
And what I love is that they bring Laurie in and they say that the doctor is back from the country club and I think he's drunk.
I think that's what we're supposed. I think that they don't explicitly say it.
Do.
They do say drunk. They say he's a couple of drinks in. That's right.
This is a town art where beating your wife and being a drunk surgeon is okay. It's normal here in Haddonfield.
And his name is Dr. Mixter? Is that
yes.
Dr. Mixter?
Dr. Mixter. Hey.
He sounds like he'd be a character in Little Shop of Horrors, doesn't he? Or something like something like that, like a cult movie or something.
He's like a Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's Dr. Mixter. Here I am. I'm having a drink.
Right. But he's an older guy. He does fit the mold, Erik, of what you would think of as like, he's been a doctor for a long time and he's a little drunk.
Oh my God.
But you would see him in a movie where you'd think of a smaller town, right? Like this is like a big hospital. Like this is a
huge hospital. I mean, it's pretty big. It's like Salem has a big hospital. I think this might be almost the same size as Salem Hospital. Crazy.
And I guess the idea is he's come from the party he's the night shift doctor for the hospital, like to be on call. But should he be? I don't
Well, he asked Janet, he's like, Janet, get me some more coffee, will you? Like, the rumor that coffee helps you to not be drunk anymore. Give me some coffee.
But did you notice Janet has the coffee cup, as he's examining Laurie, they he's getting his coffee cup.
Surprised he didn't light a cigarette. What do we have here?
And then let's talk too about, so from the last movie, what did you think Laurie's injuries were by the end of the last movie?
Yes, I think this is why they added extra Laurie noises, because she got scratched on the arm. It was a scratch. Barely, he missed her pretty much. And then she fell down the stairs and maybe broke her leg.
Yeah, because she was limping. She was limping.
But that's it.
Yeah.
But this one, I see you lost a lot of blood here.
Yeah.
Where? From where?
Now we have to remember he's drunk. We have to remember that Dr. Mixter,
oh my God.
He's seeing double or triple. So like he's probably seeing.
That would be awesome art. Doctor, there's no blood. What are you talking about? I see it. Blood right there.
Yeah, because does he mention like a chest wound, or he mentions a wound that I don't remember from the last movie.
They had to do this because for some reason they decided we're not going to have Laurie in most of the movie. We're just going to put her out. So they make a big deal out of giving her a tranquilizer, and she's like, "No, don't put me to sleep." Like she knows something. I don't understand, but they make a big deal out of sticking the needle in her, and she's like, she makes this weirdest sound like she's 4 years old. She goes, "Oh."
And we should say, if you have a thing about needles, maybe skip this movie because just even in this scene, you're getting needles in her arm, and they show the whole thing, pulling it out, the plunger with the blood going in her arm and everything. And so we're also we got Dr. Mixter, right? And then we're kind of getting introduced here to a couple of other people. It takes a while for some of their names to be said, but we're getting the feeling that they're pretty disposable people. Probably
a lot of
very
J
quickly.
names. It's another one, Art, where they're like, we're going to name the nurses with J. Like, come on. So it's Janet was the first person
Janet,
we saw.
And then we have Mrs. Alves is the sort of the lead nurse. She looks like who's a good actress. I think she's a good actress. This woman here.
Yeah, but it's Mrs. Like you said, it's not Nurse Alves. It's Mrs.
Yeah, maybe that's the way they referred to them back then by hierarchy of what they're doing. But we get the idea she's in charge, and she is in charge. She gives that commanding presence. You'd think she's in charge. And we have our two EMTs here, and we're starting to notice that one that knew Laurie, our EMT who has the great 70s hair, he's right out of the 1970s. I think we all had guys like that in our neighborhoods, right, Erik, when we were younger? Yep. They drive around the van, shirt off, windows open, right? A lot of that.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy, or as we like to refer to him as the Last Starfighter.
Yes, directed by Rick Rosenthal, who directed this movie.
No, I thought it was Dick Warlock directed it.
Oh, Dick Warlock. Yeah. You're right.
No,
I knew it was somebody from this movie. From this movie, yeah.
Rosenthal can take a hike.
So we got, and then we got our other EMT, and that's Bud. Bud is the other guy.
Yes, the dick. He's in the wrong movie. It's like he doesn't, everybody's from somewhere else here, Art. I just have to say it again. They're all from he's like out of, where is he from? The Bronx? Where's he from?
He looked like he should be a jerky character in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, or not even that. Like you said, Lords of Flatbush or something like that. Like
almost choked on my drink.
Like he's like, yeah.
So we have Loomis is now with the sheriff from our last movie.
Yeah, and now we have Erik, CBS Thursday nights, Loomis and Brackett.
That's great.
Loomis and Brackett, the Loomis and Brackett detective show, right?
Oh
they're teaming up. That's what I thought of.
That's fantastic. They should have just done an offshoot. Loomis and this guy just traveling around solving crime
with their banter. Erik, it's a classic Brackett Loomis scene here.
Loomis and his gun, always loading his 6-shooter.
He's always loading it.
Sheriff's like, will you put that thing away?
Well, it's great. It's seriously. But Erik, the scene starts with with Loomis going like, the light, shine it down there, and the sheriff's like, calm down. I got it. All right. What? You couldn't have shot him 10 times. I shot him 6 times. I'm like this. It's
you
like
must have missed him. You must have missed him.
It's like they're like an old married couple already in the car.
All I can think of is this. It should be on Netflix, 8 episodes, and it's just them. You never believe me, do you, Sheriff? Well, if you say something truthful, maybe I would. Shut up, pull over, I'm getting out. I mean,
and they could be, it's sort of like an Incredible Hulk type thing where they just go town to town and they're looking for Michael Myers through the whole series. So they're always in another town. And they have to, and then they have a very special episode, and then they have God. Right?
They know he was here. Look, he was here in this town. You can see the grass marks. Look at that's his body.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Wow.
But here, Loomis. Suddenly, they're looking down the sidewalk. Loomis is like, there he is, and we see some trick or treaters, and there's a guy walking towards him with the William Shatner mask on.
And the mechanic's outfit. And a trick-or-treat bag. This is some kid he's the only adult right now. He's by himself trick-or-treating. You're like, that's nice.
Yeah.
Something's up.
But do you remember, even when I was a kid, Eric, there'd always be like a slightly older kid who would walk around as some character on Halloween by himself, walking around the streets. That was pretty creepy. That was something that would happen.
You cross the street, you're like, nope. You just go across, nope. But what I love is they're like, look, it's it. Except I want to point out that the mask, this is a shock of blonde hair. So it's the same mask, but blonde hair. And when they're like, there, what do you do when cops chase you? I guess you run, Art. Even if you did nothing wrong. This guy starts, I call it guilty fast walking. You know, when you're like,
yes,
gee, he starts.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have crossed that road.
Oh, no.
Why does Michael Myers cross the road?
Right.
To get hit by a police car.
Savage. This is a savage hit. The police car rams into him. There happens to be, was it a news van? It's one of those white vans. But he gets plastered up against the car.
And then, boom, it blows up. So here's the budget, Eric, right? You can see. But I want to point out, as I mentioned the budget, Eric, remember I told you can start to see it here? I see it in the lighting. I see it in the extras that they have on the street. We talked about Halloween, the original, how there's nobody else around, right? There's way more trick-or-treaters, way more sheriff's deputies, way more, like there's just a lot more of that out here. So now we have explosions, which we didn't have in the last movie.
You're saying that the budget's in the extras because they don't get paid that much money.
No, but I'm just saying you start to see, and then you see an explosion stunt here.
And it's a great explosion because you see, it looks really good. He gets rammed up against the car. The police officer survives. The police car doesn't explode. Whatever was in the mystery machine, now we know.
And do you want to say who our police officer is who's driving this car?
Who?
Dick Warlock.
Oh, is that Dick Warlock?
Dick Warlock was driving the car. No, he was driving the car that smashed into it.
Yeah.
Like for the stunt.
Yeah. Basically took himself out. Wait, what? But it's a great shot because the guy is dead instantly and he's on fire. He's engulfed in flames.
Roasted.
Yeah, because of all the gasoline that they were giving out in that van for trick or treat, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he's fried to a crisp.
Oh, yeah.
And then Brackett comes over and Brackett's like, that's him, right? Is that him? And you can tell Loomis is not, he can't tell because this guy's burned up. So Loomis doesn't want to say in the moment. I liked it. It was kind of,
it could be.
Yeah. But then now another deputy pulls up and tells, like I said, a lot of police cars. And it's very interesting to me. I'm like the budget. You can tell they got a little bit more money to play with here. But he comes out and he says, Sheriff, there's been more murders, and tells Sheriff Brackett one of them is Annie.
Right. And Sheriff Brackett from the last movie, that's his daughter. That's his young daughter. He's certainly not only 10 years older than her. She's poor little kid. So he runs, he's got to go over there. And this is where we get introduced to our other sheriff or deputy with the blonde hair. Is his name Hunt or what's his name?
Yeah. That I forget his name. I didn't get his
Hunt.
name.
I think it's
like
Hunt.
you're but this is the thing, and I'm not giving too much away, Eric. You're thinking he's going to be a huge part of this. The way they start introducing this guy.
Yeah. He's not.
Because, and then we're going to do a little meanwhile here, Eric. We're going to cut back to the hospital really quick.
Sure.
back to the hospital, and the staff is now watching the news, and the TV news is covering this whole thing that's happening here in Haddonfield. And
So anyway, we got Janet, Jill, Miss Alvarez. We're all at the hospital. Who cares? So,
and Jimmy, we do get established. Jimmy's kind of sort of connecting with Laurie. Would you say, or
he's got no chance because we learned from the last movie that she's got the hots for a guy named Ben Tramer. So poor Jimmy's gonna have no chance.
Well, also, how old is Jimmy? 'Cause Laurie's in high school, and Jimmy's an EMT.
Oh,
so I'm assuming
what?
Right.
I didn't think of that, Art. You got to be a certain age. You can't be 17 and be an EMT, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he was like, she goes to school with my younger brother. So I'm like, I'm like,
21?
Did he maybe graduate high school like a year ago? Maybe he's still 19, but still, I don't know.
We can't share. You know what?
We're not creeped out because
love is love.
Jamie Lee Curtis is now like 23 filming this,
Correct.
or 22,
No,
but
like Grease, we just believe it.
We just believe that there's a connection here. So
the cops we're at the place where the murders were at the what's the name of the house? The Doyle house. Right?
Well, the house across the street was the Wallaces. That's the one where all the murders took place.
The Wallaces, And the sheriff sees it's his daughter, Annie, so we get a cameo of Annie dead. I love it.
We also get a cameo of Dana Carvey here. We also get that.
Wait, Dana Carvey.
So when they're panning across the lawn here, and there's all the news people.
Yes.
There's a woman reporter.
Yes.
There.
Yes.
Her producer, the guy with the vest on, with the watch closely next time, Dana Carvey. He's in the credits. He has the hat on. It's Dana Carvey as a young man.
Oh my gosh!
It was his first film role, and it actually he doesn't have any lines. He's like listening to her, but apparently it was actually shot. He had some lines and he had some back and forth, but now all you really see is this shot. I think this might be his only appearance in the movie. He gets a credit. He does get credited.
Yep, I've been there, Art, and your wife's been there. You've been there where you're like, oh, I got a credit, and they cut out your dialogue.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's Dana Carvey there. And news crews all over the place, which we'll talk about later. That brings up some questions for me as well. But Annie, her appearance.
Yeah, and this is where we get our sheriff exits the movie. He's like, "You let him out." And I love Donald Pleasance like a kid. I did not. I didn't let him out. I said no. You let him out. You did this. And he just leaves the movie. The sheriff is gone from the movie.
Yeah, which logically I understand because his daughter's dead and now he's got to go deal with that and his wife. So I logically understand it, Erik. I'm like, but I kind of I think something makes you think he should stay in the movie a little bit.
Like he's determined to find the killer. But it's like, nope, he's gone.
No, they hand it off to this blonde, tall deputy.
Detective Hunt.
Yes.
I'm sticking with that name. I'm sure it did because I have it somewhere in my notes. But
and Loomis gives a big speech again. Yeah.
Because we have to know. We need some exposition. You don't know. Here's what I love about this is you got Dr. Loomis and the deputy talking. And behind them, it's like you're watching a musical number or a stage play where all the other actors can't do anything. They're just standing there going, right?
They're clearly in earshot. And it's all reporters, too. So I'm sure they're like, what? They're getting all this in the news. They're all listening. But when I thought about this, Erik, so Loomis does the big monologue about, like, I saw him. He does this whole thing. But I'm like, I have to remember there may be people going to see the movie that didn't see the first movie. Yeah. So they would have to get a Loomis monologue. They didn't see all those Loomis monologues we saw in the first movie. Yep. So they need to give them a couple here so that they get a little taste of Loomis's.
Swear to God, you've changed this. You've changed Halloween for me because when you mentioned it's like the shark monologue from Jaws, I just keep thinking that Loomis is going to go, I'll tell you what. I'll find him and kill him for 5. Like, look at these hands. These hands, they look like
He's
Never
talking to the
walked in.
people of Haddonfield like,
Yeah.
it's up to you.
He scratches on the chalkboard at school.
He said, it's up to you. You can pay up the money now or be on welfare for the winter, for the Halloween season.
For the Halloween season, yes.
Yeah. So they're all listening and then we're going to cut to the town square here, which is it. This is where I'm
okay. Sure you're just, they forget certain things, like a car just exploded down the street.
Yeah.
But when we cut to, we see they want to go to the hospital and have an autopsy to check and see if this guy is Michael Myers that got hit by a car. But in the meantime, kids are still trick-or-treating apparently with boom boxes is what you do when you're trick-or-treating. And nobody seems to be that upset that there was a major car accident.
And it's all over the news that 3 people were murdered and the killer is still loose. The news can't stop telling us this.
This is the town we're in. It's like, oh, he beats her husband. Oh, the doctor's drunk. Our kids are out. They may get killed, but you know what? That's a part of growing up.
Yeah, because they show the town square and that like downtown, I guess, this small downtown, and this kid's walking with a boombox, so we're hearing over the radio, and then we follow these 2 women that they're coming from a party, and one of them is late for work, so she needs to get to work, and she doesn't want to give. She says she's a nurse. She doesn't want to give the other woman a ride because she'll be late.
Oh my God, the dialogue. I know these people are. If I bring you home, it's going to be 5 minutes there and 5 minutes back. And I'm thinking, all right, okay. I mean,
it's like, yeah, are we friends or are we like, yeah. And then I know you love this when they introduce stuff, Erik, and you're like, it's like a whole other movie. Can't you ask Eddie Lee? Oh, Eddie Lee's over in Russellville. It's like, what?
We don't even see that scene. We don't even
what I love, Erik, is we're never gonna, the woman who speaks that dialogue, we're never gonna see her again.
Ever.
I want to be clear, we're never gonna see that woman again.
Yes, I thought, this woman's gonna be another babysitter dying. Nope.
Yeah.
She's gone.
Nope. She's gone because she gets in the car. The woman decides to give her a ride and they pull out. And this is John Carpenter stepping in here for direction on reshoots, by the way. This is a reshoot, this whole thing. So the car pulls out of the downtown, and then we have a long shot. This is all one shot. The kid with the boombox appears again, and he's walking, and he hits Michael, and we get our music sting. Our usual. But it's important what's playing on the boombox right when Michael bumps into him. Because what are they saying, Erik?
It's Get Down Tonight, isn't it? The song? Get Down Tonight. No, it's not.
No,
it's a killer still. It's right. The killer's still on the loose. Yeah, that's what it is when he bumps in.
And Laurie Strode has been taken to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital.
Yes, and Mike Myers stops the kid and grabs the boombox to listen. He's like, "Give me that." That'd be awesome.
I'd love it. And then he has it for the rest of the movie.
He has it
because he's.
That's what I love is that in the center of the town is a huge ass sign that has directions to the hospital. He's like, I swear to God, if he had a phone, he'd be Googling it, like trying to check out how to get to the hospital. So we see him walking by.
All one shot, like I said.
Yeah.
He's walking down the street and there's people all around. I mean, he's clearly just heading for something because he doesn't even take a notice of these other people. He just walks right by them. And when he turns the corner by the sign, Erik, there's people with him. He's almost like in a crowd of people. And he just turns the corner, walks by Halloween. The Haddonfield sign.
This is a very popular outfit art for this season is the right. William Shatner albino.
But we see the woman. We see the woman that we just saw. Apparently she dropped her friend off and she's arriving at the hospital. And she is driving, once again, a Mustang that looks like it's from 1960, not 1978. My mom had this Mustang, by the way, when we were growing up, but blue. That's how I knew it so well. So I guess, my mom had it in the 70s until probably like 74 or so. So that might make sense. But this isn't a
Wow,
car show.
this
This
is a
isn't a
car
car
show.
show.
You know, streamline. Tail fins were very popular. But she gets out of the car and goes to the hospital, and you get that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I know what you're saying. She shuts her door, and in the rear view mirror, Michael's there. He's standing behind her. Now, mind you, everybody, those of you who haven't seen the movie might think Erik and I are going to be like, and then he kills her. No. She just walks into the hospital.
She drove there. Michael.
Yeah.
She was already en route. Michael walked there.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I'm thinking. I do this too as an actor. I'm in character when there's people, no people, out of character. So he's walking around. Nobody sees him. He starts sprinting down the street. And then he sees more people. He walks slow. Because he made it to that hospital really quick. I mean, he's...
And I was like, does he have roller skates? And he grabbed onto her bumper?
Oh my God.
Like,
Art, he pulls a Marty McFly and he gets on a skateboard with he's attached to another car.
Yeah. But we should say that this was all orchestrated and reshoots, and there was some confusion because that blonde reporter that we talked about with Dana Carvey earlier, there was actually a whole scene where she in the news van, Michael had apparently got in the back of the news van as she was heading to the hospital, and he killed her on the way to the hospital and then drove the news van to the hospital, and that's how he got there.
Well, that would make more sense. I mean,
but they cut it. They cut it apparently because it didn't pass. John Carpenter did not like the way it looked or came off. So I think they came up with this idea of Michael hearing the radio and walking there, and that was the reshoot that they did. So
yes, or roller skating is what we're.
Because it's really weird. And he doesn't kill her. He's clearly right there. He's although objects are closer than they appear, so he's even closer than we think, Erik.
Right? Because the rearview mirror. This is what I think. This Mike Myers is very pleased with himself that he's unseen but seen throughout the whole movie because he did it on purpose. She closed the door and he leaned his head into the mirror like, whoop! Like so he could look at himself and be like, I'm right here. He's doing it a lot.
Eric's watching it going, he knows.
He knows that the mirror's there. He likes it. Yeah. And so when they go into the hospital, it's Karen. And what I love is that I don't know if you heard the reporter on the television, but he's like, his delivery, he goes, the streets are just jammed with people and cars. So, I mean, it just...
Erik, I'm glad you mentioned that because my whole thought was that was like something it reminded me of like out of an Ed Wood movie where they're kind of like, you want to maybe take another take at that? Like just another, nope, we got it. That's good. Print it. Like,
because I forgot the cars thing and then I remember at the last minute. No, it sounded great. We love that there's cars and people.
But our two EMTs are watching the TV, and one of them has got a roach clip and is smoking weed in the break room of the hospital.
Yeah,
it's
Bud.
Bud smoking a bud. Yeah,
got a bud.
Yeah,
and clearly our other person, Jill. Is it Jill or
Janet? Right?
Janet?
Well, Jill's the blonde. Jill is the blonde.
Wait, no,
it's Janet and Jill and Karen
and Jill, and one of them, Janet or Jill, is talking about another girl, Julie. Julie says she saw Michael Myers in the meadow picking flowers or something like that, and Bud's like, Julie's full of shit. Just so many J's. It's like, you have a foul mouth. Yes, every word out of your mouth is shit or damn. And he's like, sorry, I guess I just fuck up all the time. It's just...
Yeah, that's Janet. She, I think, is the youngest one.
Yeah.
We're supposed to get the idea she's the youngest nurse. Yeah. And she goes off, but she doesn't like Bud too much. But then Karen comes in. Karen, our late nurse. She's running late. She had to drive her friend. She comes in. But her and Bud seem to have a little bit of a... connection here?
Yeah.
Like,
hi, see you later. And they do this little finger touch.
Yeah.
And then Bud has, the songs you like.
Yeah. The first movie, we had a lot of songs. This song, I've remembered all my life from the first time I saw this movie on HBO when I was a kid, when I was younger.
Art,
I've remembered it.
me too.
My whole life, I remembered this.
It's still in there. I didn't even have to watch Halloween 2 again. This little ditty is just stuck in my head. I don't know if we're going to do it.
And you know that guy, what I like about the characterization, you're like, yeah, that's that guy. That would be the composition of a song they would make off the top of their head easily.
Yes. And I think why spoil it for people who want to watch Halloween 2? You guys can have that embedded in your brain for the rest of your lives too. But he's one of those guys, he thinks he's funny or he's crude and he gets pleasure out of being crude. So, and Jimmy doesn't like him. He's like, why don't you just shut up? Jimmy doesn't like me.
I'm going to argue it's not bad for Off the Top of the Dome. Like this guy's
no, it's
song.
not bad if he's really. So we're doing it then.
No, we're not going to do it.
Well,
we'll just tell people. We'll tell people it is a rendition of Amazing Grace. He uses that as his base for his song.
Yes, we'll do words that rhyme with grace, like face, and words that rhyme with cry, like pie. Yeah. So there you go. Everybody stop now. If you haven't seen Halloween 2, stop what you're doing. See if you can, maybe it's on Spotify.
Probably.
Greatest hits.
Well, he's also got some rules, Erik, of life that he imparts to Jimmy. Because Jimmy's sort of like, will you shut up with this? Why are you so crass? Why?
Yeah.
But Bud has clocked that Jimmy's got the eyes for the new patient, Laurie Strode. And Bud says, hey, dude, rule number one, never get involved with a patient.
Yeah, but Art, nurses, that's another story.
That's what,
That's okay, apparently.
That's in Bud's rules. That's subsection number one.
Nurses, it's okay. I got a whole book here if you want to look at it, Jimmy.
Little line drop to Erik for some background because all these people matter so much. He's a college boy to Jimmy, so we know Jimmy's maybe at college, but he's an AMT on the night shift.
College
he's working his way through. Yeah. So that answers some questions. He's in college and he's got eyes for Laurie, who's supposed to be how old?
She's 17. So
yeah. So all right.
Well, that's all right.
I won't talk about that anymore. But
you can date someone older or younger. Hey, shut up. In the words of Jimmy, hey, shut up.
And now we're getting some shots. Michael's in the hospital now.
Yes. Here's my issue.
He's in there. Michael Myers.
Is we got introduced to of course, the stereotypical security guard. He looks like the time to make the donuts guy, or if Mario from Super Mario Brothers got grossly overweight. And he's not paying attention. And we see they do a lot with video cameras here. So we see.
Well, he's watching Dr. Dementia too. He's watching the horror marathon. Yeah,
super popular. I don't know why they don't bring it back, but Michael Myers is coming in. You have to buzz in. He buzzes Karen in.
Mm-hmm.
So how did Michael get in? Because we see a door closing. Like, how did Michael Myers get into the hospital if you have to be buzzed in? Is it magic, Art?
I don't know, because I will point out to a lot of this stuff with the security guard was also reshoots that they put in because they wanted to have another death.
And it sounds, Art, like we don't like Halloween 2, but I just letting you know, I love Halloween 2, so we can tear it a new butthole.
But it's put together. Yeah, it's a little, but he's in the hospital. We just got to know Michael's now inside the hospital. He's wandering its halls.
Yeah, and we get more POVs. And if you guys listen to Halloween, our podcast, we talk about sex and how the teenagers they can have sex in seconds, right? And everybody wants to do it in Haddonfield. So now we see that this is true for everybody because inexplicably, this hospital has 24 infants in the infirmary. What the hell is going on?
It is almost like an Alien, all the eggs.
Yes.
It's a wash in babies in the maternity ward.
Yes.
Because Michael sort of ducks into that maternity ward area because he hears somebody coming because he's so scared of being seen.
He doesn't want to be. He's on a mission.
Yeah.
To get Laurie, I think, but he still doesn't want to be seen.
Yeah.
But I would love it if he just looked and he looked at the babies and he like started going cool, 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 like that. Or he grabbed a bottle and glugged some milk.
Well, he's probably a better nurse than Karen is at this maternity ward. Because she comes in late and we realize her deal is she's a maternity ward nurse.
Yeah.
So you're like, yeah.
For
so
all the teenage pregnancies that happen. It's like Gloucester, Massachusetts all over again.
So Mrs. Alves, our supervisor here, tells in and she says, you're a really good nurse, but you got to be on time. And this is where we start to get, like I said, more of what we had in the last movie. We see Michael in the background through the glass. And, it's that type of shot. It's alternating with his POV. I do have to say, it was funny because Michael was watching Karen come in. This was just something I noticed.
What?
And he watches her come in and he's looking through the maternity ward and Karen comes in and over to the desk. And then he starts to go out of the room. But Mrs. Alves comes by the doorway and it's sort of like he goes, oh, whoa. His POV sort of goes, whoa. And ducks back into the room.
It is pretty funny.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, because while they're talking and she's like, you're late and, all this stuff, we see him standing in the background. And I thought if he's trying to hide, if they turn around.
Oh, there's a bunch of shots like that in this movie. Yeah.
A white mask in the infirmary with all the babies. They don't even see him.
Well, this is a difference I noticed from the first movie and this movie and how they're playing with this, Erik, is in the first movie, we talked about how they were so excited with all this Panaglide camera system that they had that they could move the camera around. And the way they would do those Michael shots in the last one was the people in the foreground will be moving around the characters. And so you're following them and then there'd be an empty window and then they come over and then back and then there's Michael and then back and then Michael's gone. And they would play around with it a lot like that with them in the background. But here there's a lot of static shots of people in the foreground talking and Michael, like you said, clearly in the background, where if they just turned, they would see this man standing like a figure standing in the background. And I noticed that's the difference between the two that I noticed a lot of.
Yeah. And the mind of Michael Myers, I think he just enjoys. This is where we see what he's doing when nobody's paying attention. Because he just is like, oh, hiding like you said, and then standing there. Are they going to see me? They're going to see me? They're going to see me? Nope. Okay. Why isn't he killing these nurses right away?
Yeah. I don't know. But we cut here. We're still in the hospital and Jimmy comes in and tells Laurie that it's Michael Myers because that's now out on the news. It was Michael Myers.
She's like, the little kid? The little boy? Like, no, Laurie, that was a while ago.
Yeah, yeah. But that's obviously the legend that was in town, so she's connecting it to that. But she asked the question that, you and I were asking during the podcast as we were going through the first Halloween. Why me? Why is he after me?
But she doesn't know that he's after her. Why did he come after me then?
Yeah.
He was one of the babysitters. He killed one. She's selfish. It's not about her.
I was going to ask you that too, because she keeps going like, why me? And I'm like, well, he killed the people across the street first. Like he
killed two of your friends. Your best friends are dead. And you're like, why me?
And Bob. And Bob.
Poor Bob and his glass.
Bob might not have been a friend, but Bob was.
Poor Bob. But visiting, Jimmy's got a thing. So visiting hours are over or whatever.
Mrs. Alves comes in and puts there. Mrs. Alves is like, hey, get out of here.
Yeah.
She's probably like, dude, you're in college. Like, get out.
Yeah. And Laurie's parents are out partying, apparently, and they can't get hold of them.
And the phones aren't working.
Yeah.
We notice here.
So the phones aren't working because we know from the last movie that Michael Myers likes to cut the phone lines. Mm-hmm. We never see it.
Ever.
He is so stealthy. For someone who's on a mission, he's just like, you know what? What I'm going to do is just cut the phone lines. You know what? Just check on the babies.
And so Mrs. Alves tells Janet, the young nurse, to go down to talk to the security guard and
Garrett.
Tell him that the phone lines are down, and because they're probably like, he's useless. He's always watching TV and he has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, she's like, it's all the way down the hall. She said, get going. Can we just say how creepy this hospital is? For a hospital,
yes,
it is absolutely creepy. Is Laurie the only patient besides the 1,000 infant babies from teen pregnancy?
It is a creepy setting, and they use it well in some of the sequences in this movie, but I remember even watching it the first time, trying to understand, are there a lot of other patients at this hospital? Because there are a lot of rooms and a lot of hallways, and they even reference wings of the hospital later. So it just seems like this is a really skeleton crew.
Ooh.
But a real...
And they shut off half the lights in the hospital. Murderers on the loose, and they decide they're not going to turn on the rest of the lights.
Yeah.
And is there a guy, like, where's like an elderly man that's a little sick? Like, go check on Mr. Walters. They don't check on anybody. Yeah. But this is where Janet and the useless Mr. Garrett, he's like, all right, I'm going to go check the telephone wires. Here, this is a walkie-talkie. And he gives her what looks like an army walkie-talkie. I mean, it's the size of like a briefcase. And he doesn't even tell her how to use it. He's like, just call me if anything happens. She's like, I don't know what are you talking about? I wouldn't know how to use it. Oh my God.
And then let's talk about worst walkie-talkie ever, too, for its size.
Oh my God. It's like a brick.
Right away. It's just, she can't hear anything he's saying.
Well, she's touching buttons. She shouldn't have touched anything. She's like, I can't, what?
So security guard goes downstairs. He finds some blood in the dumpster. He picks up there's a dumpster, and he finds some blood in there. And then we get a classic cat jump scare. But Erik, you probably noticed this. This cat is not messing around. This cat is this cat is like, motherfucker, I'm taking you down. Right?
You know what it reminds me? It reminds me of Elf, where Buddy the Elf is attacked by a raccoon. It just goes... It knocks him down. This guy's like 400 pounds. It knocks him down.
It's like he grabs him by the chest. I laughed so hard. I was like, oh my gosh, this cat just really... And Erik, you were saying earlier, it's like, this is supposed to be a special movie, but this guy it's borderline, he's a comical character, because he's sort of like, blah, blah, and he's rolling around in all the crap on the ground, and it's like he's it's a weird juxtaposition of stuff here.
It does have a little suspense, because I think it has a little suspense, because now he starts looking around the hospital where I'm unclear, because the hospital has, it looks like Home Improvement, the TV show, because there's a wall with every possible object you could use to kill someone with.
Yeah, he shines his flashlight across it all. We see it all. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's looking around. He's trying to contact Janet because all these locks are broken on things. And he's like, right? He's like, listen, you got to contact somebody. I think there's been a break-in. And she's like, what?
Quick side note. This scene brought back memories to me of you and I put on a show called The Seance.
God.
In Salem, Massachusetts, where part of it was there had to be a stagehand underneath the stage down in the basement that would need to pop a pole up and knock a table underneath to make the audience jump. And the only way to communicate were through these walkie-talkies and the signal was really bad because it was all concrete.
Concrete floor with one hole in it for the pole. The guy, 50?
And so we would have to signal for when you were doing something on stage. And downstairs, it was so hard for them. And I just imagined that Janet is the person downstairs trying to
Right.
Because he's trying this guy. It's coming through like, and Janet's, like you said, just turning buttons and turning things.
Shouldn't touch the buttons, Art.
No.
But here's what I like, where it's done before in so many horror movies, but he's checking a room. He opens the door. There's nobody there. And he closes the door. Mike Myers is right there behind the door.
Yes.
And he's very quick with his kills. And he takes a hammer and just hammer claws him in the forehead.
What'd you think of the Foley work on that, Eric? What's the sound? That sound when that hammer goes in was interesting to me.
Oh.
Because not that it was bad. It was
like
just a very interesting chunk with like some...
like a...
It had...
Yeah.
Boom. Yes, right. You got it, I think. It was like a,
but it makes sense. And they did it so well because it looks like he really hit this guy there.
Well, let's talk a little bit.
Nope.
Because why is Michael Myers back to the door behind him? So you picture Michael Myers somehow snuck up behind that door when it was open behind the guy.
Yes.
But he didn't wait looking at the guy. He put his back to the door.
Yeah.
So that when the guy swung the door open, he could go and with a big flourish, turn around and hit him with the hammer.
Okay.
So now let me just say, I'm just going to layer that on my earlier note about him jauntily jumping up like a Peter Pan earlier to do the kill. I'm like, he's got a little style in this movie. That's all I'm going to say.
He does have style.
He's got some style.
We have to remember is as a moviegoer, everybody.
Yes.
If the kills aren't done this way, it's not as exciting.
No.
But it is really funny to think that he breaks the locks, he grabs a hammer, and he waits for the security guard, and then he sneaks up to the door. When he opens it, he goes through and up against the door like that. And then as soon as the guard closes the door, he's like, I gotcha. I mean, it's like he's playing tag, but now to kill people.
Here's where I think you and I are differing here. We're starting to verge off. Is I thought in the first movie, a lot of this stuff, we definitely joked about all of that in the first movie. There's a lot of that. But I thought that movie was playing around a little bit more with the boogeyman and feeling like, who is this guy and why can he appear and disappear and stuff like that? Where it is funny to think about, and we did jokes. Here, I'm a little more focusing in on that stuff than I was in the last one. I'm a little more like, what? Why is he behind the door like that? I don't know. I'm a little drifting in that direction.
I think
clock where I'm at right now.
For Halloween 2, the goal is John Carpenter's got to do it. And so he makes a serial killer instead of a boogeyman. And it's just what's the body count? How can we? So Mike Myers is kind of like pop-up killer right now. And if he is going for Laurie, why is he just taking everybody else out? He doesn't need to kill the security guard. That guy's an idiot.
And he was already in the hospital.
He was already there.
He was in the hospital upstairs in rooms going around. And now he's downstairs in some sort of I don't know, the rooms downstairs. I don't know. Like
there's a lot of weird rooms in the hospital, but
yes, we'll talk about it. But it's a good cut. It's a good cut to quickly a sheet ripping off the toasted body on burned to a crisp.
Really good.
But it's got teeth. The teeth are clear on it. It's almost like a skull. It's burned so much, it's almost like a skull, right? The head. So this is the body of whoever was killed in that car accident. No suspense for us, though, I'll just mention in the movie, because we already see Michael Myers walking around. We're not really in suspense about who is this the guy or not.
Yeah, they're thinking Mike Myers has got to be still alive, even though they're not entirely sure. But they're freaking. I think this is where it cuts to the Myers house, and it's a crazy crowd throwing rocks at the windows. And what I love is there's a cop on the roof of the porch. How the hell did he get up there? He's like, all right, everybody, knock it off. I just thought it was funny that there's a cop on telling him to stop. And I thought there goes the property value too. That's
right.
They're not going to sell that house.
Yeah. And so so we get the coroner, they're trying to do the autopsy, and they said they can't really tell. And we get a couple of Loomis monologues again in this whole segment. So we get the tribe, one of their number was butchered. So now this is a wake. That's what he says. So
it's so funny. One of their number. What do you mean one of their number? Several of their number, you dummy.
And Eric, you probably noticed this too. Did you notice when they pull up on that house? It's the Myers house, and there's a crowd outside throwing rocks. The Foley in the background. How many windows does this house have? Because the Foley had a window breaking every half second in the background.
Yeah.
It was like
a lot of windows, a lot of rocks.
Yeah,
there's
like
a lot of rocks in Haddonfield.
Yeah, every second it was like,
yeah, yep.
Like
and here's where we have to have a somber moment because
two kids come up to the deputy.
Yeah, and they're like, "Hey, I can't even say it, Art.
Oh,
I'm trying."
Well, you had a whole story built up about this guy in the last movie.
Yep. So,
just for everybody listening, remember. Laurie had eyes for a young man.
She was Ben Tramer's missing. I'll say it. Ben Tramer. Yeah. They killed Ben Tramer.
Two kids come up and say he was at a party. He was a little drunk. And they're kind of smiling, but they don't know what happened to him. We know.
How do they know? Because Ben Tramer's 17. These kids look like they're 9. How do they know who the hell Ben Tramer is?
Well, they were at a party with him, and they're worried about him. And they said he had this stupid mask on.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Why was it? I thought it was pretty cool.
Stupid mask on.
It's very flammable.
Now, this brought up a whole thing for me. So Ben Tramer is who Laurie Strode had a crush on in the first movie. And Annie had actually set her up with Ben Tramer. Think about this. And Annie, in the last movie, was killed before she could call it off.
Yep. And guess what? I also thought of this as Laurie's crush got crushed.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, because they're putting together the guy who was killed was 17, the dentist said, probably because the dentist can tell you're about 17 from your...
No, Michael would be 21. Oh, big difference in teeth there. 17 to 21, big difference. Yes, 21.
Because there were no cavities and fillings. Because, between 17 and 21, your teeth just go to hell.
It's terrible. I have so many fillings, Art.
Although, if you think about it, Eric, that might actually be true, because then you're sort of getting to have a lot more independence in that time, and you're probably like, I'm eating chocolate cake, I'm eating.
No, man.
But Ben Tramer, was killed in a fiery crash.
But you know what, Art? It doesn't matter because there's a break-in at the elementary school.
Yeah, so they're break in at the elementary school. And do we want to cut back? Because we actually cut back to the hospital here, Eric. We go back to the hospital.
I don't want to. I want to find out.
You want to just go to the elementary school?
I want to find
Loomis.
out.
We're going to stay with Loomis.
Yes, we'll stay with Loomis right now.
So we go to. They're like, there was a break-in at the elementary school, and you got to come see it. So Loomis and the deputy go to the elementary school, and. Great detective work this Haddonfield Police Department has here, Eric. Did you notice this? When Loomis and the deputy come in, there's another police officer from Haddonfield, and he's like, look, right here. This is where he came in. It's the windows smashed, like the windows smashed open on the thing, and he's like, look, right here. He must have come in through here.
Look.
I'm like, okay, good.
Look,
and then he comes over. Look at this.
Drawing. There's a knife stabbed. Sister, it must be the
hugest knife, gigantic knife stabbed into a children's drawing.
I think, Art, that's our ham hock knife. I think that's the knife.
Oh, so he went from there to the school?
I guess so.
He gets around.
He does because if Mike's going to the hospital, he did this before that. Was he bored? He's like, I'm going to just break into the school.
Or maybe after school, I don't know. Even before during the first movie, maybe he was doing this.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. But he stabs a picture like one of those, clearly an adult tried to draw a child's picture. And it was a family and the knife is stabbed into a girl. And then on the chalkboard.
They have to say it, Eric. They have to say sister.
Sister. Yes, in case. They didn't know he killed his sister. And then you see the chalkboard and Mike Myers took.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Okay. He took the time to write in blood a word on the chalkboard. And so he was dripping with blood. He must have been, he must have a wound somewhere. They just pats his hand and he's able to continuously write. And what I love with Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis, and nobody caught it, is he looks it up. He goes, Samhain, Festival of the Dead. And I'm like, nope, that's pronounced Samhain, everybody. And they just, that would have been awesome if he's like, I know it looks like it says Samhain, but the Celtic pronunciation is Samhain. Samhain. Say it with me, Detective Samhain. No, Samhain. The M is
I
silent.
wonder, Erik, if there were discussions about if we show the word Samhain and he pronounces it Samhain, is the audience going, right? I wonder if there were.
The audience would be like, it says Samhain, you jerk. They're making this lore like it's Halloween. Because it's Halloween, Mike Myers is... Maybe Mike Myers is from Ireland. He's a Celtic, Scotland.
Yeah, and John Carpenter introduced this. I think this is his doing, which he regrets, apparently.
Well, because he had to do the movie. He had to come up with something. Samhain.
Yeah.
Halloween.
But then suddenly a woman enters who's talking to Dr. Loomis, and he doesn't recognize her at first.
It starts to turn into like a soap opera with Loomis, because he's like, like you just saw a knife and blood, and the festival. I didn't recognize you from tonight.
The night before. It would have been the night before.
Okay.
The night before.
24 hours. I don't remember.
24 hours ago. But here's the thing, Erik. Didn't recognize you. Not only 24 hours ago, a very significant event.
It's our nurse from the other movie that drove him to freaking Haddonfield. She's like, you got to come with me. It's like,
yes.
What are you talking about? Like,
and this is Nancy Stevens as
Nancy.
Nurse Marion Chambers from the first movie.
Yep.
Who was the very beginning of the first movie. She was the nurse.
Who he knows very well. Poor Loomis is suffering from.
And Erik, she gets a popcorn bucket award.
She does.
That's the second time we've talked about her.
Yeah.
She was in these two movies. Yeah.
Yep. I guess she gets an award. Yay.
She gets an award. Yeah.
Hooray
Yay,
for
good
our
her.
nurse.
Yes.
But she tells him that he's in big trouble. He's got to go. And he's like, I'm not
governor.
going anywhere. I'm not. Yeah, the governor. It's like,
but
no.
Did you see his expression, Erik? Loomis? She goes, the governor. And he sort of goes, governor.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Well,
Governor.
maybe I'll be invited to the Christmas ball. But she's got to take him out of there because they don't want anyone from the hospital involved. They got to, it's going to be too much red tape probably.
Yeah.
But
this is where he lights her cigarette with a lighter.
He does. Yep.
He does, which he got from the deputy in an earlier scene. The deputy handed him that lighter.
Yeah.
So we've been seeing him very clearly lighting with a lighter, lighting people's cigarettes.
But he doesn't smoke.
They're focusing on, but he doesn't smoke. Yeah.
She does. She smokes a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, she usually has her Red Rabbit matchbook. But
that's missing.
That's gone.
Yeah,
that's missing.
From the last movie. But she's basically telling him he has to go with the sheriff, and he has no choice. He's basically
there's a marshal.
Yeah, he's being detained.
He's being detained.
So they got to take off. Mm-hmm. But back at the hospital, we have Karen, which I think there's a couple in this movie. We get a hospital buzzer scare. But she's like, oh, like she's got to check on a patient. Apparently, there is another patient because it's a bzzz that like I need you. Mm-hmm. So there's another patient, Art. She's gonna go check on him or her.
Yeah. So Karen goes in and she goes to check on him, but it's sneaky.
Oh.
It's not. It's a little scare here.
It's
jump scare.
Bud jump scare. It's Bud in an empty room. What did he do? Move the patient? She'd be like, why is that one going off? There's nobody in there.
I thought the same thing, Erik. I was like, wouldn't she be like, what the hell's happening?
Bud rolled the person under the bed. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm going to get laid. Get out of here. Really creepy. She's like, you're an asshole. You're stupid. I hate you. And he's like, but you love me. And she's like, yeah, I do. So they want to hook up in the freaking therapy room.
Yeah.
A therapy room with I guess it's got with big, it's like a sauna tub, a spa tub. So they want to go there to make out. She's horrible. She can't watch. She's not going to watch the kids. She agrees to do it. It's like, the kid, listen, everything's going to be all right. Come on. And then he does this weird thing. Like he just goes, like he does this. And she loves this guy.
Yeah.
She's making bad choices.
Yeah. And this is right here, right? So they have flirtation. They're going to go to the therapy room. And here we have Laurie's out cold in her room. She's sleeping. Spends a lot of this movie sleeping. A lot of this movie unconscious, I noticed.
Because the wig might fall off if she's moving around.
The wig might fall off. And she has a little dream here.
Yeah. It's
weird.
We don't really know what's happening, right?
Right. But she's in the backyard. It looks like the same backyard from the first movie where she saw Michael Myers in the
same laundry.
With the same laundry, right? And her mom is taking the laundry off the line, and she's right behind her. She's a little girl, clearly. And her mom says, I told you I'm not your mother.
What? Good job, whoever you are. What a horrible Jesus.
I told you I'm not your mother. And then she comes in, and it's funny, Erik, this next sequence I kind of like. She segues, it's Michael sitting just staring out a window, and she comes in behind him as a little girl, and she's walking, and then he just turns and looks at her.
Yeah.
And I always thought for years after I watched it, I always think the sequence is in Halloween, in the original Halloween, but it's not. It's in this movie. But my memory sometimes mixes it up. And I always think because the mom and her at the laundry thing, do you remember in the first movie after she sees Michael down in the laundry in the yard and then she takes a nap? Every time I watch Halloween, I think she's going to have this dream. It's just a weird side note. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to add one more thing to the dream. What's weird is we're seeing blood dripping on a black floor. Why is she?
Yeah, that's like mixed in these quick shots of blood dripping.
Yeah, but we do see our couple in the therapy room, and this is where we get our gratuitous nudity. Where Bud's in the therapy. It's one of those big metal tubs with it looks really uncomfortable.
Behind the scenes facts, this was apparently very uncomfortable for the actors because in actuality, they said the water was freezing cold because it's not heated. And these poor actors have to sit in this freezing cold. And apparently the actress, somebody got an infection from the water, the still water that was in there. She got an ear infection or something, she said.
Yeah.
So
Karen, who's
Karen,
disrobes and gets in. And what I love is when you know the water's cold from trivia, she's like, ooh, it's hot. And I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And also the 19 men that are watching her undress on this closed set. She's like, they said it was a closed set. There's 19 heavy panters. I mean, give me a break.
But yeah, that's our first boobs in this one, right?
Oh yeah. There are only boobs, but they spend enough time that you don't need any more. No underwear to speak of, unfortunately.
No.
But she's in there and they're kissing and she's like, it's too hot. It's too hot.
And we should say there's frosted windows in the background that go into another room where all the controls are. Yeah. Windows, yeah.
Yeah, so Bud's like, well, she goes, turn it down. He goes, well, it's cold out there. What I love is she goes, it can get cold in here.
But Michael is the one who's turning it up. We see the controls and we see his perfectly clean hand. This is what I mentioned earlier. His hand is perfectly clean when he turns that dial.
That one is. No blood. He wiped off all the blood. But here's where Mike Myers is being a prankster. He's turning up. He could have just walked in there. They wouldn't have had any time to get out. And he could have just... But nope. He's like, I'm going to turn it up and see what happens.
Well, we remember for the last movie, Erik, putting on the glasses over the ghost sheet.
Yeah.
Like I think you said he's got a little funny bone.
He does.
He's got a little.
This is pretty funny. He's like, I'm going to turn it up. Somebody's got to come in. I don't care who, and I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. And that's what happens. Bud goes into turned it up. And what I like about this kill is that it's from we're with Karen in the tub, and all we see is the silhouettes of Bud getting strangled.
Yes.
And it takes longer than the regular kills.
Yeah. But then when he's done, he just kind of lets him go and he just drops onto the ground, which I think Dick Warlock on the spot choreographed. He said to Bud, he goes, you know what? I'm gonna just drop, I'm gonna let you go and just drop. So he just
choreography, a fight choreography is very important because if it's not done right, you have adrenaline, you can get seriously hurt. My wife, Orsina, who I probably mention on every other podcast, we were in a pirate show and she's supposed to slap me on the face, just like this. But she wound up and clocked me so badly that my jaw still ticks when it still cracks. Can you hear that, everybody?
I did hear it. That came over. Yeah.
That's from Orsina, my love.
Oh,
so thank you, Dick Warlock, for the choreography. But this scene's weird because she's got her back to that room and she's sitting, wrapping herself up in the towel. And Mike Myers walks up behind her, again, probably snickering in his mask. Like, she's going to think, just like the first movie, she's going to think I'm Bud. And she does. She doesn't even turn around.
He puts his hand on her shoulder, like gingerly.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't grab her. He just rests his hand on her shoulder. And that hand is it looks like he's been working on the docks his whole life, right? He looks like he's a longshoreman.
It's like, he got axle grease on it at some point and it couldn't come off. That hand is really dirty.
Yeah, it's gnarly. Yeah. And he's got his hand, but she thinks it's Bud. So she kind of takes his hand and then she's caressing it. And she bites it in a flirtatious way. She starts chewing on the finger. And we're all as the audience going, that's Michael Myers' hand.
Yes.
That you're chewing on.
What I would have loved is if she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And she's chewing on his hand and then she goes, what's on your... Oh.
She doesn't need to notice at all
doesn't even notice he has a sleeve on either. Caressing his sleeve.
So I on a serious note, thinking about the movie, what's going on with Michael Myers in this moment? Like, what are you thinking, Erik? Like, what are we supposed to think? Like,
well, here's the problem.
Okay.
Is that Mike Myers is, I guess, evil. Like, he's just born like an evil entity. So he has no remorse or anything like that. But yet somehow he really enjoys like playing like a cat with a mouse. He keeps playing with the prey and he doesn't have to. Why does he do that? So he must get some like devil satisfaction out of being what do you call it? Not a narcissist, a sociopath.
The sociopath is what I get, obviously, from this.
We're very serious. We should both put on our glasses for this.
No,
I think Mark, he's a sociopath.
But this particular moment, because obviously we talk about, and we talked in the first podcast about these teenagers are oversexed, and Michael is clearly, he killed his sister after she had sex, years and years ago. So that's all in his brain rattling around. And here's a woman, I think this is the first time we've seen he has like an intimate contact with somebody. So I just thought it was just an odd little moment here, right?
It is.
But then he jerks his hand away. He sort of pulls it away.
Because Artie was probably having feelings he never had before. It's probably his first interaction with this, like, oh God. Like he,
right.
Got a little excited and he doesn't know what to do.
Done like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And Karen, I have no sympathy for you because you chose Bud. But she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Never looking. And then finally she turns around and he just grabs her.
Yeah. He grabs her arm and then the back of her head.
Yep. And he sticks her head in the boiling, which apparently you can turn up this healing spa up to 4,000 degrees.
It literally says scalding.
Why would there be a degree on a spa that says, again, it's a Roger Rabbit moment here. It's a Wile E. Coyote like, too hot, too much. I mean, we have a hot tub and we can't.
You don't send it to the scalding setting?
Scalding. Don't come in, it says. Do not enter. And he keeps dunking her head in. Every time it comes up, they do more like her face is burning. And what I like is a fun fact, which makes you think, okay, we've already seen that this guy comes back from being hurt and stabbed and killed.
Yeah.
His hand, the clean one, I'll point out, doesn't burn.
No.
But I thought he should have taken his other hand that had all the grease on it and stuck it in there and cleaned it off. You know, when he was done, he'd be like,
scalded it right off. Just took a whole layer of skin off in there. It's a good effect because it does look kind of real for a burn, like the successive burns. It's like the skin's kind of bubbling.
Yeah, it's gross.
And then it's really gross. Yeah. And so I always thought watching this though, I'm like, so is she drowning and being scalded to death? You know, like what's this death like here? What's this? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm assuming if we have to break down that death is that she was breathing in when that's my, because she wouldn't die from being burned. So she died from, she breathed in the water and it went down and killed her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I guess that great death.
So we go to Jimmy is in Laurie's room again because he can't stop thinking about her. I guess he has googly eyes. And she's just staring ahead. And he says, don't worry, Laurie. I'm not going to let anything happen to you, which I think mirrors the last movie where she told the kid she was babysitting that. But then he notices Laurie's not really blinking.
No.
She's staring straight ahead. Like she's catatonic or something. And Nurse Alves comes in, Mrs. Alves, and they think it might be she's reacting to the medication, they say.
And then she tells the other girl.
Janet. So Janet, they send Janet to get Dr. Mixter.
The very reliable Dr. Mixter. Yes. Probably at the party by now. He's back at the party. He's got to be.
No, he's in. The doctors have quite an office set up in this.
Wow.
In this hospital.
This is an amazing hospital. Yeah, she goes. The nurse goes to get Dr. Mixter. There's a shower in there.
Yes.
He's got his own bathroom. The shower's on. I never understood why the shower's on, but I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
After this.
I didn't understand because I didn't know.
Oh, I know. Yeah. 100%. I'll let you know the background story. On
okay.
The shower.
Yeah. So shower's on. She goes in the room. Then she goes into his office clearly, and he has an aquarium. Much like you have an aquarium back there behind you.
Yeah, mine's dry. Mine's dry.
And all the lights are off in the room except for the aquarium lights. So it's kind of a cool setup. Nice setup here because the whole room is rippling with this light, like a bluish green light. And Dr. Mixter is just staring. She sees him from behind, staring at his aquarium.
Yeah. It's like, Dr. Mixter. And she touches him on the shoulder. And then it's one of those chairs, like I have, the little curly chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm Dr. Mixter. Ready? Here I go. I'll do it just for you, Art.
Okay.
The listeners can't even see it. Dr. Mixter.
Erik has a pen stuck in his eye.
Oh, that actually got me pretty good.
Oh, no. But Dr. Mixter has a syringe stuck in his eye.
There's your syringe. Yeah. There's your don't watch this movie if you don't like needles.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's kind of good. It's the eye is gooey and the needle is stuck in there. And then it cuts to, we see Janet, the nurse, and the room. So she's just it's the blue aquarium light on her, but behind her, it's very dark. And we get the repeat of the shot from the first movie.
Yep.
A great shot that we love so much.
Yeah, I love to call this the Jurassic Park because you just keep bringing the T-Rex back. Like we got to... if something's really good, they find a way to do it again. But it does work. He comes out of the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And I always was scared of this because I always thought, what if somebody has a needle and it's filled with air and they pump it, they stick it in you and go, whoosh. I was told that you would die from the air bubbles. So that's what he does. He grabs her by the back of the neck and he sticks the needle in the inner temple right through the bone.
I don't know. Maybe that's soft there. Maybe there's a way to get in there. Maybe he's good at anatomy. We don't know.
And then he pushes that plunger And she just dies right away, and he lets her drop.
And this is also where this is the head tilt. He does the head tilt here.
Yep.
That he did in the first movie. But I didn't understand the head tilt here. In the first movie, we thought maybe he's admiring his work or something or something. She's just on the floor. He's looking down at her. Maybe he likes the way it's in the, I don't know.
I think he just had when you get a crick in your neck and you kind of do your own chiropractic? I think he did that. They told him to
maybe in the first movie when he was watching that guy, he was like, maybe those glasses will look good on
Yeah, he's like,
maybe.
This one, he was looking like, can I fit into that nurse's outfit? Probably not.
Oh my God.
That's what happened.
Oh, that would have been.
Yep. He walked around as a nurse. Oh, and he's got the little hat. Oh, what a missed opportunity.
They missed it, Erik. They missed it.
Cape, like we talked about.
Yes.
Oh, he's got a cart. Oh my gosh. And the shower scene, what happened is he went in there to wash his freaking gross hand off, and he turned the shower on. He was going to take a shower, and Dr. Mixter came back in. He's like, "Who's in the shower?" And he came out and he stabbed him with the needle. That's what happened. He never got to take a shower. I'm telling you, that's what happened.
And there's little things. I think some of this was also a reshoot. I think Carpenter was involved in this. This is adding extra gore. This scene that we just saw with Janet. So it does make you wonder, what was in this before? How did this work out before? Like, what was going on?
So many movies are like that. But Jimmy is now trying to find the what's her name, the head nurse. And we got a lot of POV of Michael still creeping. And if we haven't talked about it, whenever there's an opportunity to show him on a video monitor, they do it. So it's like, there he is. He's just around the corner. There he is.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about her too much, but there's this other nurse there. So we had Karen in the maternity ward, Janet, they're both gone. And we have our blonde, short-haired nurse, who's Jill. Who I don't know that we ever actually hear her name.
It says it on her name tag.
It does.
Hi, my name is Jill. Yeah, we never
but we never
throw away.
Yeah.
She's our coffee getter. She gives coffee to drunks when they need it.
But she's there and she gets a patient alert. So she leaves Laurie. She's watching Laurie.
What patient gave an alert?
Right. So as you say, we're getting some Michael POV and we see him coming and he makes a beeline for Laurie's room.
Yeah, finally. Because why? He wanted to kill her when there was nobody around to see it? What is his problem?
And he comes into the room and he's got a scalpel.
Yes, I love
That's his new
scalpel.
weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, he's put down the syringe and now he's got a scalpel. Yep, and he goes in and he frickin' stabs this Lord of the Rings style. He's like,
and watching this the first time, you might be like, he's stabbing Laurie.
Yep. Well, here's my problem, Art.
Okay.
His goal right now, we believe, is to kill Laurie.
Mm-hmm.
So every other kill, he's like, surprise. But this one, he doesn't even he doesn't pull back the sheets and go, it's me. Wait for her reaction and then kill her. He's like, nope. I'm not even going to let her know I was here. So, little problem there.
Yeah.
But surprise, yep, it's just pillows. So she went from catatonic, Art, like this, practically dead, to she gets up, gets pillows from the other bed and her bed, makes it into a body, and then takes off. These drugs are amazing. I want these drugs. Yeah, but I do want to point out she's limping severely.
She can barely walk.
Right. Makes her way in another room. Phones are dead again. And then
she goes to sleep
right away. Curls up in the ball.
Because in this movie, Laurie just sleeps through about 90% of the movie.
Yep. And Michael, for about 90% of the movie, is getting his steps in.
Yes.
He walks. This guy is walking in every possible area of the hospital slowly.
Yes.
I'm like, this guy's got a watch on. He's like, well, I can't kill anybody yet until I'm at step 1000.
And Jill is wandering around looking for the security guard. He's not there. And that's what we can see on the monitors. Mm-hmm. Michael's walking around. And then we get a jump scare. Jimmy's found her. He puts his hand on the nurse Jill's shoulder. And then we get another one of your favorite scenes, Erik. They're talking. Jill and Jimmy, our EMT, are talking while Michael is clearly silhouetted in the background of a hospital room.
He's standing there. They are like so nervous in the hospital, but they're not looking over their shoulder ever. They're like, I'm so scared, but I'm not going to turn around.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they turned around and Michael's silhouette was like, oh, shit. Like, and then he came out.
Or they're like talking.
We're going to just, yeah. So I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be in the last bathroom down the hall. And Michael's like, okay, last bathroom.
They see him. He's listening. He's like
tilting his head. That's the head tilt. He's listening. Huh? Last bathroom.
Yeah. Oh, last bathroom. So they're talking. And so Jimmy says, well, let's split up. Got to split up in the horror movie.
Of course.
You go search this wing. I'll go search this wing.
For Laurie.
And for Laurie. They're looking for Laurie.
Limping, drugged up Laurie.
Yeah.
How far could she get? She's in one of the next rooms, dude. Check those rooms together first, dummies.
And he says, if you can't find her, go get in your car, go down to see the sheriff.
Yeah.
Go to the sheriff's office. Yeah.
Right.
So we have to remember phones aren't working. The phones aren't working here.
And
so
I guess this is where, could we do a meanwhile and take care of the Loomis car scene?
Yes, because he's in the car with Nurse Marion and the marshal. This guy is a marshal driving the car.
He's awesome.
He's great. But this is what I love, Erik. She says, she turns to Dr. Loomis and she says, there's something you should know. Because they're out of town now. They just left town. They're leaving Haddonfield.
Really, really important.
Important, you should know. But then he segues into one of his long monologue about the Samhain ritual. The Samhain ritual.
Samhain, yeah.
About the Samhain ritual.
Oh my gosh. He's also a historian.
Right. And it's about how they would take people and sacrifice them.
Yes.
But today we don't have that anymore. The way we look at it is fear, and it's long. It
is long. And she's sitting there like, And he does mention, he goes, the druid priests animals were burned alive. Like, what does it have to do with anything? I would have loved it if she, halfway through, she said, listen, shut up. I don't give a shit about that right now. I have something important to tell you.
That is kind of what she does when he finishes.
But
she's like,
waits for the
by the way, remember 5 minutes ago when I told you there's something important I need?
Do you remember? And here's where I love, it's where they just are like, well, there's nothing we can do. Because Dr. Loomis knows everything about Mike Myers. He's been spending his life on this kid, but what is that remove? By the way, Dr. Loomis, there's a secret file. And he goes, it's almost like he looks at the camera like, file. Stop. Okay, you're talking about file. No, file? You probably just made that up. Actually, I did, because we have to do a big reveal here. There's a file that he doesn't know. Oh, yeah, we kept it in a safe. Yeah, I knew it. I didn't want to tell you.
He was his doctor for 15 years.
15 years. What file? It's almost like a nod to the fact that they just threw this in like, oh, big reveal, big secret.
Yeah.
What's the secret, Art? What's the secret?
The secret is that Laurie Strode is actually Michael Myers' sister.
Ding, 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 ding.
The Strodes adopted her, but then made sure the file was sealed.
Sealed up in the hospital. That was the flashback. I'm not your mother.
Because the Strodes, but
it's not, we can't
with that flashback, Erik, I'm like, why did this, it seems like, did Mr. Strode want to do this adoption and Mrs. Strode was not down with it?
Oh, she's hated it.
So for Laurie's whole life, she's like, look, you are not my daughter. You are you're part of that Myers family.
Yeah. Ask your dad for money, because I'm not giving you anything.
I know.
I mean, really.
So we learn here, yes. So that's what all these flashbacks have meant. And this is to explain why Michael Myers is so fixated on Laurie Strode.
Yes, which I'll point out that John Carpenter thought of it the last minute while he was drunk, which he admits.
Yeah.
And then he hates it. However, we'll talk about at the end of the podcast. This reveal is the very reason why all of the other Halloween movies exist. They all just clasp onto this big reveal secret, which wasn't at all necessary.
No.
Yes.
Because if you listen to our first podcast, part of what Erik and I said was so great is he's just evil and he's just this force and he's out there, fate, and he's coming after her. He comes after these babysitters. He's coming after her. He's going to get rid of her. And then he's also somehow supernatural. He's not human or something. But now he's Laurie
there's
Strode's
no
sister.
reason, because if he's killing everybody else in Halloween 2, there's no reason to kill these other people. They weren't in his way. He went out of his way to kill Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah. He went out of his way. And so
it was almost like he was, because we're doing all POV, Erik. It's almost like if you play a video game and then you were like with the security guard, it's like, oh, shoot, I forgot to go get that one. I forgot to go get that mission.
Yes. Oh my God, Art. You nailed it.
You went back and got the sheriff.
Yes, it's a video game and you're on a quest and you got to kill Laurie, but you want to get the extra points or whatever it is. You have to complete that mission. Security guard, nurse, doctor, random babysitter. You're doing these missions to get the points.
Yeah.
So you can upgrade
but that
your
one
weapon.
he missed. That one he missed. He had to go all the way back down.
He had to go back
to the.
Yep, he had to go back. That's crazy.
So I'm sorry, I was interrupting.
No, but what I'm saying about the sheriff is this bit part, and this guy with the accents. I'm just so into all the different dialects here. He sounds like he's from Minnesota. The driver. He's like, I'm just, doing my job. Like he's like, okay. He's so calm.
Because Loomis is like, all right, we got to turn around. We got to go. How far is that hospital?
Yeah.
How far? And like you said, I'll do it. The guy's like, he goes, do you know this area? Little bit. The marshal's like, little bit. I know it a little bit.
Yeah.
How far is the hospital? Yeah, it's back on Route 16.
I love it.
3 miles.
Maybe
that is. People haven't seen the movie think we're joking, but that's the affect.
Unless you take the other road there, and then it's going to be like 16 miles, but it's a better way to go if you want to. But we can't go because I got to bring you back to the hospital. And
mind you, this guy has just heard the entire conversation Erik and I have outlined.
He doesn't give a shit. He just wants to go home and have, a glass of beer or something.
Yeah, because he's like, I got my orders.
Yeah. And then what I love is Loomis. He's just so excited. And I was like, hey, is that what you fellas do? You usually fire a warning shot. Is that right? He shoots in the car.
Shoots the window out.
And I thought everybody's going to be deaf. This is a freaking 38 revolver. I thought,
Erik, the rest of the movie, they're all like, what? What?
Where is he? What did you say? Huh?
But thinking, I didn't see it in a theater, that part. I'm thinking that was probably a laugh for the audience when the car does a U-turn.
180. Yes. But see, that was not part. I would think that guy, the sheriff, whatever he's driving, they shoot the thing and he's like, oh, geez. Okay. And he pulls over, puts on his blinker, turns around.
But I guess also he has the affect, Erik, of somebody who's like, I'm not going to get fucking killed for this.
Yeah, right,
I'm going to just do whatever this guy says now. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Laurie's, they're
wakes
heading back
up
to hospital. Yeah. Laurie wakes up again.
Laurie's waking up.
And she goes in the hallway again. And then we got, there's Mike Myers, right?
Well, she's so weak. She is so weak. I mean, she can barely open the door to that room, and she's crawling, Erik. Yeah. It's and then what we see is, as she's getting out of the room, we should say Jimmy was searching the hospital.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Well, he's searching the hospital, but he goes to another room and he finds...
It's like the surgery ward. So there's like operating table.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I didn't quite...
Yeah.
I thought it was like a weird... It looked like from a horror movie where you would kill people with the black floor or whatever. Was it even a black floor?
It was. It's very dark. If it isn't black, it's very, very dark.
Right in the middle.
And it's lit like... it's lit so just the table is lit, so the rest of the room is really dark.
But it is. I remember seeing most of these kills when it first came out and how it affected me. But Jamie, looking around, he sees on the table is our head nurse,
Miss Alves.
Miss
Yeah,
Alves.
Miss Alves.
And she's dead. She dead. And there's one of those tubes that you draw blood or put blood in her arm. And he picks up the bottom of it. And I imagine all of her blood and probably somebody else's, because there's a shit ton of blood, is on the floor. Like Michael Myers took the time to drain this woman's blood.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But
but this is that blood drip that you saw earlier during the dream sequence. Yeah. That was what we were seeing.
Doesn't make any sense. But okay.
Was that blood dripping?
Yeah. So she's
and
dead.
then looking at, so the camera gives us that reveal, and so it's just a pool of blood, red blood on that black floor.
Yeah. And
Jimmy's standing in the middle of all that blood.
Yep.
And he doesn't realize how slick blood is, I think.
Nope. It's a great stunt that I guess he did himself. He slips on the blood and slams his head. Ooh, I know. And it's tile, like ceramic tile.
Yeah. Oh.
Just awful. Boom.
Yeah. And he hits his head, the back of his head. And did you notice how long they held on that shot, Erik? They held that shot of him on the bloody floor next to Mrs. Alves for it felt like 5 seconds.
Well, we need to see all that blood.
I guess. Yeah.
It's like, think about it.
But they definitely up the blood quotient in this one.
Yeah. Early on, this is like pretty freaky. You're going, oh my God, she's drained of her
Meanwhile,
blood.
Nurse Jill is running around and Nurse Jill is trying to get out of there because apparently she couldn't find Laurie in the hospital. Like you said, none of them could find Laurie. She goes out to the parking lot from the High School of Grease and all the tail fin cars and everything.
Yep.
Gets in her car, which is also like something out of the 50s.
Yep. It's only one car dealership, Art, in Haddonfield.
Yeah.
Like, I got all kinds of cars.
But she tries to start her car. Her car won't start.
No.
Did
she gets out of the car and all the tires are flat. On top of that, there's a big leak underneath the car. And then she looks at all of the cars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many there are, 6 more.
She keeps seeing them. It's like, I wanted the scene to keep going on.
Yep.
Like it takes her 10 minutes to get back to the hospital.
Yep.
Another car has the tire. Another car has the tires.
That'd be awesome. One car's got the hood open and this, all that radio is stolen.
So Michael stabbed all the tires out, disabled the cars, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only takes a few minutes if you are wearing a mechanic's jumpsuit. Apparently that helps you get super ability to know about cars.
And we want to point out our eerily abandoned hospital, which is a great idea, premise, atmosphere. In all this time, nobody has come to this nobody has showed up to this hospital since. I guess to this massive hospital.
Nobody else went to that house that was giving out the apples.
Well, this is where you have problems sometimes in movies where you bring in the press. I think I've talked about that in movies and we've covered before. They say, be careful about bringing the press because I'm like, we clearly heard earlier the one survivor of this mass murder has been taken to Haddonfield Hospital. There were like 20 news crews down there. And I'm like, not a single news crew sent anybody to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital to even just stand out in front of it and go, I'm here at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital.
Laurie Strode. Yeah. Holy shit, that's Michael Myers.
Yeah, Michael Myers takes the microphone cord.
Or Michael Myers is just standing in the background, like trying to be on TV.
Well, there's a row of them and he knocks off each one. He just goes down and knocks off each one of the reporters as they go down. But I did think that watching this through this time, I'm like, they're not going to. I guess the one reporter in the script was going to the hospital.
But there's no time for it, Art. But
there's
Michael
no
Myers has time. Here's what he did, dude. So he wanted to disable all of the vehicles.
Yes.
So I mean, that would mean any number of ambulances that are there too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he disables the engines. We're done. But he's got that frickin' scalpel, right? So he starts walking back to the hospital. He's like, oh, wait. I'm going to pop those tires. And he stabs every single tire. I think he's doing it because he's just having fun. He's like, oh, I got a scalpel. I think the car not starting would do the trick. But the tires...
Or is this just a coincidence? And there's some really shit kids that are doing trick-or-treats tonight.
Art, it's that kid with the boombox and his little friends. They're like, let's go to the hospital and F up all the cars.
Put sand in the gas tank.
And Mike Myers comes out and the job's already done. So he's like, huh. And he goes back inside.
Right. Yeah.
Why is he doing all that? Why? If Laurie can't even freaking walk, why is he just going in and kill her 20 minutes ago? I know. So Nurse Jill comes back into the hospital. Laurie, as we said, is oh my God, she looks so feeble. I guess that's how they up it from the last movie, because the last movie in the finale, was Laurie against Michael Myers running from him alone. This time they've disabled her quite a bit. She feels like I will say you do feel like, oh my God, how is she going to get what's going to happen if he finds her? I feel that a little bit when I'm watching it. For a bit, I'll point out some things for you to destroy your reality. Okay. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah. So she runs back in, Jill. And Laurie's finally waking up again, and she's in the hallway. And the nurse comes up. She's like, Laurie, right? And then behind her, Michael turns the corner. This is my favorite kill in the movie. Yes. It's very memorable. It's very memorable. He's got a scalpel. He's got the scalpel. And he just stabs the nurse in the back. He's got one hand and he lifts her up off the ground. She does a great death job. She's like, oh, and then her freaking shoes fall off. She looks sad. Which was a suggestion from a crew member. Really? A crew member suggested that her shoes should fall off. Isn't that interesting? It's awesome. Because the Michael jump scare, of course, he comes out of nowhere. And then he lets her go with the scalpel. And then we get the ramped up ding, 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 ding. And remember, Laurie had just come up from a drug-induced nap. Yeah. She's got a leg that's useless. But she gets up and hauls ass. Art. And she runs down a flight of stairs. It's amazing what adrenaline can do, though. Apparently. She's booking it. So she goes down the hospital stairs. Mike Myers is following her. Yes. Taking his sweet ass time. He's never going to catch her at this rate. He is. So we just recently watched the first movie. So would you say he moves slower in this movie than he did in the first movie even? Well, I think it depends on what he's doing, but he was told by Deborah Hill, he's like, hey, how am I doing? Do you want me to move faster or anything? She's like, no, you're doing great. And then she's like, I hated it. He walked too slow. He's like, I heard that trivia. But I like him. I think, I don't know why he has to go slow. It's just to scare us is the reason. Right? Yeah. It is. I think it's maybe you don't agree. I think it's effective. I think I get the suspense. I get the suspense and I feel it in these Everybody uses it, Art. Jason is super slow, but yet he catches up to everybody. Just like this movie where she goes into the Freddy Krueger boiler room and Mike's got so much time on his hands because those reporters don't show up, right? Yeah. Like you said. He hangs our 400-pound security guard in the boiler room. He's just hanging there. Nice touch to put the light. He hangs him by a work light, Eric. Yeah. But he makes sure the work lights turn towards the face. Just in case, crippled, drugged up Laurie makes her way down to the boiler room. Wouldn't it be awesome if he caught her and he realized she never saw that body, so he drags her down to the boiler room and goes... pointing at it. Look what I did for you. Look what I did for you. You almost missed it. But now she's trying to escape and she makes her way through this window, which I was like, wait, what? And he's coming after her. A high window. Yeah. And he's coming after her with the scalpel. And so now he's kind of fast because he's like trying to hit her with the scalpel. But I mean, her legs are pretty exposed. Yeah. And if you watch it, he's like going, I think he's just trying to scare her. He's just... You know what this reminded me of? One of our favorite movies.
Oh, what's that?
She goes through that small window and lands in another room on a pile of boxes. And there was red lighting a lot in this.
Oh, yeah. I have my notes. I said the basement, they have a lot of red lights down there in the basement.
Suspiria.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I almost
this
expected,
definitely
like, her to fall into a bunch of slinkies.
Yes. Yeah. So she gets through that window. Like I said, I wish, like, the way it was set up, I'm like, they should have actually had him cutting her legs. Like, then we could have had her legs cut, like on her calves or something. Like, you know,
you get cut with a scalpel, man.
No, I know, but like it would have been gross. But like, I think, would have increased the like, oh my God, but he missed.
And
she
books it to the elevator.
Yes, around like a cage. There's like a cage set up. And she goes around the corner. And then I guess he's going to take... He didn't go through the... Did he go through the window? I guess he went through the window.
Awesome.
How did he get over there?
That would be awesome art if we saw him struggling to get through the window and he can't fit because he's too big. He's like, shit, fuck.
Because suddenly he's coming and we hear him on the glass on the floor, which apparently didn't bother her bare feet.
No, she probably jumped over it. You know, she's so agile. But what I love is he took
But he's crunching
time.
his feet. His feet are crunching on the glass. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
I would have loved if he realizes he's stepping on glass and he looks down and then he goes and he starts crunching it. Crunch, crunch, crunch. He's got great work boots if he doesn't get hurt by that.
And he's coming around the corner.
Art, if he ran, if he just booked it for 1 second, he would have caught her in the elevator.
He doesn't even have to book it. He just has to walk briskly.
He has to walk a little faster.
Yeah. Because let's talk about this hospital, Eric. We've talked about it so far.
Yeah.
Terrible walkie-talkies.
Terrible.
Worst elevator in the worst. Like, this hospital needs some upgrades.
Yeah. How many floors are there? Why does it take so long? At 3, are there 3 floors?
And it is, And just so she's banging to the door. Yeah.
Art, this is not how an elevator works. So when you press a button and the door closes and someone puts their hand in between, it opens back up again.
Yes.
In a movie, it always closes. We see his little scalpel sticking in there. I thought, Michael, you're not even trying, dude. You didn't even put your hand in there to stop it. He's like, with the scalpel.
Because I want to say, Eric, this chase, this stuff, this is suspenseful.
Yes.
Like it is, you are on the edge of your seat. This is my favorite part of the movie because I'm feeling, even though I know the movie and I'm watching it again, I feel like, oh, here he comes. You know, you're getting that in your... But then, yes, things keep happening like the elevator door and things where you're like, what? Yeah.
Yep.
It's interesting.
But it is very suspenseful. She finally... her leg doesn't seem to be bothering her anymore, Art. And she escapes into the parking lot and hides in in one of the cars. Why? What? She hunkers down in the car like... That's going to work.
Yeah.
And then the door rattles. It's Jimmy.
Yes.
Jimmy gets into the car.
We're like, oh, Jimmy survived that fall. Yeah.
Right?
But then we start to notice Jimmy's not right.
No.
He doesn't look like he's functioning correctly. And he kind of dazedly looks over at her and then he's like, don't worry. We're going to get out of here. And you're like, oh boy, Jimmy is not. He has a concussion or something from that fall. And he starts, the car, of course, isn't going to work. No. We know that.
And he goes,
car's not working.
What I love is he goes, I think, and then he just.
Yeah. And you jump because you're like, oh no, Michael's going to hear that car horn.
Yeah.
Like that's going to give her away. Yeah.
Yeah. And just maybe at the end we can go over it, but is Jimmy dead? Is he dead?
I know. I read some behind the scenes stuff.
Is he dead? I don't know.
Yeah.
He's not eyes open.
No.
But is he dead?
Yeah, because she sort of leans him back and he sort of slumps over the back of the seat, but she tries to start the car. It doesn't work.
All right. Here's where maybe I'll be on your side with this, but because I've been battling it with you. But Laurie Strode, drugged up, broken leg, limping, and then she books it. She's an athlete. She's jumping through windows and elevators and all that shit. Then the car door opens and she slumps out.
Like she's a bag of meat or something, like a bag of potatoes. Yes. Yeah.
So sometimes I'll play the Grinch and we just had a Halloween parade and I walked that parade. I I did like 3 hours of walking and talking and pictures and all that. And then when I was done acting as the Grinch, I got to my car and I sat in the car and I felt just like Jimmy. I was like, oh, I think. So the adrenaline, maybe she lost it here.
Mm-hmm.
But just in time to see Loomis and it's not the sheriff, but I keep calling him the sheriff, the marshal.
The marshal.
And our nurse pull up.
They arrive.
Yeah.
Yep, they arrive.
And all of a sudden she has no voice art. What?
Yeah.
I'm just saying her voice is gone now.
It is weird. It almost feels like that thing of when you're in a dream and you can't yell to the person, like you feel like that's the way this is set up to me. Like it is like a dream, like they're the person who can save you or you're trying to tell somebody something and you can't, it's your nightmare basically, and you can't get to them.
Yes, and
she watches them go in the hospital and close the door to the hospital.
And then she's
behind
like,
them.
help! But I will say this does make a lot of tension. I'm telling listeners again that I love the movie. I don't know why we're tearing it a new butthole, but
we're not
fun.
tearing it up. We're having fun.
It's fun.
We're having fun.
Yes.
And yes, it is. That's why I said it's scary. It's effective here.
And I love it.
And this is great. What happens here is great.
Yes, but when Loomis has got the gun and the marshal's just doing whatever he says, he's like, all right, whatever. You know, I want to keep my job. And Loomis
turns into a character from a noir movie all of a sudden.
He says to the nurse, you stay with me and shut up. I'll plug you full of lead.
I know. I felt like he was Humphrey Bogart. Yeah. He slaps her, Erik. He does the slap. Get a hold of yourself.
We're going to finish this job. And it is cool because we do see Mike. This is where is he bathed in red here somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the way background by like a little transformer power station or something, or there's red lights on the outside of it. And we actually see him, if you look closely, when Laurie finally stands up way in the background, you can see him step out into the red light.
Yes. And sorry. So Mike was like, I think she just went out the front door. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go around the back and sneak around the side. He is playing hide and seek tag is what he's doing. He's like, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to let her see me and then have a little fun. This is coming from the guy who stabbed the pillows. Just saying.
So he's behind her. And so she's up on her feet now and she starts running towards the door. He's doing his walk. We're getting his POV as he's getting closer and closer to her.
Yeah. And the doors are locked. The doors to the hospital are locked.
Yes.
So,
well, I know. I mean, it was a city hospital, but I do know that where I lived in Somerville, it was sort of the city, and there was a hospital there. And if you went to the emergency room at, say, at like 11 o'clock at night or something, there was a phone you had to pick up to call them to open the door to go in.
We've established that.
Yeah. Well, the doors were open because I think somebody had come out earlier and left them open.
Sure.
I think.
Okay. We'll go with that.
Yeah. But she's banging on the door, and they hear her in the hospital, Loomis and them, and they come over and Loomis pulls Laurie in, shuts the door.
Because they see Michael. I love this. To me is here we have the unstoppable force where I think Michael is done playing hide and seek and he's like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to go for it. So what I love is they're locked in. It's a hospital glass doors. He just steps right through the door. It doesn't even use his hands. He walks right through. It's so good. So good. And then Loomis unloads five bullets.
Important. That's important.
Yep. If you're knocks him, he does the Mike Myers and falls on his back.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love is Laurie going, why won't he die? Like, I don't know, kid. Why doesn't he? Good.
And the marshal comes in, but Loomis has been through this rodeo before. This is not his first rodeo with Michael. He's like, get away from him.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's still breathing.
Okay. The cop's like, all right. Okay. Geez. Make it easy. All right.
And another good line from him is coming up too, because Loomis is like, tells Nurse Marion, go get on the radio, tell them Michael Myers is here. And I wanted him to do the Gary Oldman thing. Send everyone. But so Nurse Marion goes, and the marshal goes, hey, nobody's allowed to use that radio except me.
He doesn't even care this is a serial killer that's killed 3 teenagers.
He's very interested, though, in the body.
Dummy.
He's incredibly interested.
But I love it because when I first watched it, I'm like, oh my God, don't.
Yep. He goes down, he kneels down because Loomis is trying to talk to Laurie, and guy leans down to look at him, and Michael just comes up, grabs him, and cuts his throat.
Yep.
It's pretty good effect.
And we got our twang there.
Yeah. And then Michael just stands up, into the frame, and we get our music starts again here. Yeah. There's a little more. Is this what you were talking about earlier, though, Erik? This score is got a little jazzier, modern twang things around the edges to it, like a little more electronic. It sounds a little more electronic.
It's got a lot of pep.
Yes.
It's got a lot of pep. And just fun facts is that Mike Myers has got, if you count the 7, so he's got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got 11 or 12 bullets in his body.
Plus, if you remember from the last movie, he's stabbed by a knitting needle, and one of his eyes was poked out by a coat hanger.
Maybe that's why he's walking so slow. He lost his depth perception.
And he was stabbed in the chest, too, in the closet.
Yeah, and plus he got his finger bit. Yeah. He's walking around like, ow, son of a bitch. Girl bit me. But Dr. Loomis and Laurie run away. She's got her adrenaline back, and Mike's following them. So Marion's gone. She's out of the picture now. Right?
She's out at the car I think we cut her a little bit on the radio, and she's like, Michael Myers is here.
Oh, wait, I think you got Gary Oldman. They're talking to her, and she's like, just get your ass over here.
Yes,
you're Gary Oldman there.
Yeah, she's like, just get him. Get everybody here.
And so they end up going through some hospital rooms, and they end up locking themselves in an anesthetic room. What? It's
the room where they
store.
They must store every canister of oxygen in the hospital.
Available. This is and there's also a table in there. So I keep thinking, what is going on in this hospital?
Mm-hmm.
They got that black floor. They got this room. What's going on?
Yeah. And just behind the scenes, too, the reason sometimes this feels disorienting, I guess they filmed at 2 different hospitals over the course of the shoot. So that's why sometimes you're like, what is this? This doesn't look like the other hospital. And so
I didn't. Yeah, I liked it.
I noticed some of
what makes the hospital like a character haunted in itself. It does. Kind of makes it.
It does. Oh, no, it's great. It's great. So they're in there. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah. And the door just has that one little, it's like a 12 by 12 window, right?
Yep.
And
Michael's coming down the hallway. So Loomis gives Laurie a gun.
A gun.
Where did he get that one from? I
don't know, but apparently I had no idea that he's packing lots of
2 guns. Yeah. I was trying to think back and think where he would have grabbed that other gun.
Right, because right now we're thinking he just gave Laurie his only gun.
But he didn't. No, he has his own gun. He had 2 in his hand. He gave Laurie 1.
I'd love it if he pulled his jacket back and he had a holster with like the 6 shooters.
Or pulls up his pants leg and he has the sock holster.
Right. It's my emergency. It's my get out of jail free card. But here's what I love also, because the whole movie, Michael's been like, la, 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 la. Now he's like, no, I'm fucking done with this whole thing. So he's banging on the door and he smashes the window. You think, oh, he's going to reach in, right? Nope. No. He just tears that door apart. Awesome.
Yeah. Like, it's almost like a shark coming through the boat or something. Yeah.
He's done fooling around.
Mm-hmm.
And, we got Loomis, though.
But Loomis comes in and draws a bead on him with his gun. But have you been keeping count, Erik? Have you been keeping count?
I shot him.
Well,
6 times.
But he pulls the trigger You said 5 times he shot him up in the hospital hallway, but remember, he also shot the window out in the marshal's
and it's
car.
just a revolver.
And that's 6. That's 6 shots. So,
and I think it's pretty. I was surprised. I don't know if you were, but Michael takes that frickin' scalpel and he just goes doom, and stabs him once in the chest. And I love Donald. Loomis goes, oh, like, oh shit,
yeah.
And
then the scalpel comes out with blood dripping off of it. They added that little detail. Yeah,
man, that's
so Loomis collapses off to the side, and Laurie has that gun that Loomis gave her, a little pistol there. And so Michael comes, but here's the thing: she says, "Michael," and he stops.
He does stop. I kind of think of it like American Werewolf in London. David.
Oh, yeah. That's a good interesting.
The werewolf goes,
yeah.
And then, but he gives her that stupid head tilt. I didn't think that was necessary.
And it looks like, it was, I agree with you because it was so tossed off. Like he did it and he went right back and then he started advancing on her again.
It's like, you know me? Oh, I thought it was going to be a surprise. Like, imagine if he went to kill her and he's like, I'm your brother. But he talks. He could talk the whole time.
She's like, I know. He already told me. Yeah. Loomis told me. And he's like, damn
Son of a bitch. That might be my big ending.
He's always talking. He can't shut up. Yeah.
But then he comes after. He's like, nope, I don't care. And he walks towards her.
Well, we thought Loomis had experience with guns, but apparently Laurie Strode is the most natural shot ever.
With a 38.
Yeah.
That's got a lot of kick.
She pulls off 2 shots and gets at first you think did she even hit him? Because he goes like, whoa.
He goes like
then
that.
Yeah. Then his eye holes, blood comes out of each eye hole. Yep. So apparently she not only got him with a coat hanger in the eye last time, she just took out his eyes.
Yes. And here's my one. I love it, but I'm also like, I can still see your eyes, dude. Why didn't they do something so we wouldn't see? Because she shot him right in the eyes, but you still see his eyes when he's like, So why didn't they? I thought, well, where did she hit him? But she's definitely
and also that's the brain. Like, it's so funny. You think about zombies, get him in the brain. You know, that's the brain. Like this entity, Michael Myers is clearly otherworldly. He's supernatural. He's just,
and he doesn't. Yeah. This is maybe his adrenaline because Michael Myers doesn't drop to the ground as he did with every single shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or whenever he's stabbed, he drops like that. Mm-hmm. What's that favorite animal of mine? The fainting goat. Mike Myers is like a fainting goat. Every time he goes, Michael, he goes, oh. But this time he covers his eyes and he starts swinging the scalpel. And this sound effect art.
We've even talked about this. We mentioned this on another podcast, Erik, because this sound effect was
love
there,
it
and we brought it
so
up
much because it's so unreal. It's as unrealistic as pulling a sword out of a leather sheath and having it go shwing. He's got a 1.5 inch scalpel, swinging it, trying to kill, get Laurie, and it's just going.
It's almost like a teacher with a pointer in some parody movie would go like,
yep. A nun with a ruler.
Yes, with the ruler.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But he's swinging that, but he can't see her. So he's just kind of going by feel. He has an inside homing beacon for Laurie Strode.
Yep.
So he's hearing her or something. Her, yeah. But then we see Loomis isn't dead. Loomis gets up.
He's all right.
Loomis is like Michael Myers. You can't kill him.
No, you have to fall down in order to get back. It's your second life. Yeah. And he's turning on the gas Loomis, now.
He has a good idea. It distracts Michael. He hears the sound. He starts going over there. Whoosh.
Yep. And then
Laurie, because he's getting close to Loomis, Laurie turns on oxygen or whatever.
Yep.
And so he starts to go over there.
Here's what's awesome is if like that we keep digressing and joking, which is fun. But imagine if it wasn't oxygen and it was the gas they used to put you out. And they
It's laughing gas?
Yes, and they
It's
all
like
started being like,
nitrous oxide.
like even
Including
Michael.
yeah.
And,
But-
and they all pass out. But I guess it's just oxygen.
It's oxygen, but now when you watch it though, it is funny because when you watch it, you're like, I think they could have got out of there, both of them at some point. Like I think they could have
pushed him.
Yeah,
But
they
he
could have
is,
got out of there.
Evil incarnate. They just saw him come back from the dead.
Yeah, they don't want to risk it.
Yeah,
but
finally-
Loomis sees an opportunity for her to get out. He's like, go, get out.
And he's almost whispering it like Michael's not.
Yeah.
Go out, get out. I'm like, nobody can hear you, dude, with all the shh.
Yeah, so Laurie gets out, and then Michael's getting close to Loomis. And remember we said earlier, Loomis has a lighter now that he's been using throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's great.
And it should be the red matches, the matches.
Can you
from the Red
imagine if
Rabbit.
it was, instead of trying to use a lighter, he had the matches and he's like, Michael, it's time. And then he starts striking the match and they're not, he's like, oh shit, hold on, shit.
And Michael's like, I shouldn't have left those Red Rabbit matches by that railroad track.
Michael's looking at him with his head turned because he can't light the matches.
But yeah, so he says, it's time.
Yep,
Is that what he says?
Michael, it's time. It's time, Michael, or something like that.
And I guess this calls back to, like you said, the Samhain celebration where they would light things on fire. I think that's what we're supposed to do.
That's the only reason, I guess, because Laurie escapes a massive ball of fire. It was awesome.
And you probably know from the behind the scenes are bigger than they expected. They did not expect it to be that big, right?
Well, it's gas. What are you going to do?
Yeah, they didn't expect it, and it was done on a set, and it's done pretty good. I don't know whether it's a stunt double or whatever, but Laurie is up against a water cooler, the old water coolers like you used to have in school, and so the explosion and the flames are in the background, and you're thinking he's dead, right? Michael's dead, but no,
it's awesome. You know, we love practical people on fire effects. So the stunt person, he's a little thicker now, but Michael Myers coming out completely engulfed in flames.
He's still got the scalpel, right? He's still got the scalpel in his hand.
Yeah, and I love it because he's not stopping, and you think there's no stopping this guy, and then he just drops down, I think to his knees, right, and falls forward.
Yep. Yeah.
And I thought, wouldn't it be awesome if Loomis came out right after him? He's like, I made it. But no, Loomis is fried.
A little behind the scenes for people, you probably heard this. Dick Warlock is doing the stunt. The guy who's been playing
Dick
Michael
Warlock
the whole time.
It
is Dick Warlock. And he comes out. If you watch it again, right before he collapses to his knees, you'll see Michael shake his hands like almost like a tremor, and then he falls. Behind the scenes, they said they had done that whole suit, and what they didn't take into account was how much he was on fire, and the zippers on the suit were metal, and they were touching Dick Warlock's skin. And so he was walking out, and he said he suddenly started to feel, what the hell's going on? What? Oh my God, my arms. But he doesn't want to ruin the take. And he's like, oh my God, something's burning my arms. And so that little shake, you can see it. I watched it right before he falls, is him kind of shaking his arms, going like, what the fuck is going on? And he fell, and he goes right after he falls. You know, they have the 6 people with fire extinguishers. So he knew they were coming in.
Wow.
But that little behind the scenes, he did. And he has a scar on his arm to this day from the zipper on that suit.
What a trooper.
Dick Warlock.
Yeah.
But he's dead. That's it. Michael Myers.
You can see what I love is that they show the mask is still partially there, but it's just on fire. It's a great shot of him on fire. And then
and I think that shot, Eric, just so you know, I think that was John Carpenter's idea to add that particular shot that you're saying in reshoots.
Probably because he's like, listen, Michael Myers is dead.
Maybe you're right. That's right.
Look at he is burnt. Remember Ben Tramer?
Tramer.
He's Ben Tramer right now. Okay, he's fried. He's got nothing but teeth left.
Right. You're probably right.
He has
Yeah.
no eyes either. Dead. He is dead. And then
Right.
we have movie morning.
Yeah, with so much fog.
I love
I
the
was wondering
fog.
if it looks amazing. I will say, I really was impressed with the way it looked. I'm like, did they pump all that in there? Because it looks like it goes on forever. Or was it just a misty morning? Because out here in California, you can have, if you're coastal or near the coast, like where I live here in San Diego area, these incredibly foggy, misty mornings. Yep. So I don't know.
And it's really cool because John Carpenter was probably like, hey, fog. Good idea. And then we have everybody's out there. Apparently, Mike Myers forgot to pop the tires for the ambulances because there's a bunch of ambulances there now. And one of the people says the body count is 10 so far. And I don't want to. This is how we can find out if Jimmy's dead if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
If we're going to do it.
Can you I did try to do a little bit of this. Yeah.
So you got you got 2 babysitters, right? And you got Bob. That's 3 from the first movie, right? Mm-hmm. Dead. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this one, we got other random babysitter.
Alice. Yep.
Okay, she's dead. Do we count our flaming friend, Ben Traynor?
I think you don't have to count. I don't think you count
so
him.
we're skipping
I
Ben.
don't think you
So we
count.
got 4,
skip him.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then our hospital staff. So 5,
Yes.
6, 7, 8.
Well,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so Jimmy's alive then.
Yeah. Well, originally Jimmy was alive, and I think Jimmy actually was. It was sort of like an ending where he was seeing her off to the ambulance too. I think that was supposed to be in there, from what I read.
Because the
we were
body
supposed to
count's 10.
clearly see that he was alive at the end, but then for some reason they didn't put that in.
But
So,
we're saying
yes, I think
there's a 10 body count. That would be 11 if it was Jimmy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think you got everybody, because you include the security guard, right, in the hospital staff, right?
The doctor.
And the doctor. Yeah.
Security guard, doctor, 2, 3 nurses.
Yeah.
Right? Head nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And then, you know what? It doesn't make sense because Loomis is dead. They didn't find Loomis because Loomis is probably ashes.
Yeah. Well, maybe you might talk about it.
But anyway, I was thinking, does that include the babies?
But just to wrap up here.
No, I want to know about the
baby's going to be.
But it's a great shot of her going away in the ambulance, in the fog.
And we get Mr. Sandman for the end.
And Art, we have a continuous shot of Michael Myers dead, engulfed in flames.
Yes, the flames are coming out of the eye holes of the mask.
He is frying to a crisp. And John Carpenter's like, stay on this shot because, y'all, he's dead. I brought him back. He's dead. We're going to move on to a different kind of movie.
Yes.
That's it. So there were no more.
That was the idea. This was going to be just the continuation of the story, and then this is how it ends.
They finished it. I know this movie's finished. We made it through, but they never made another Halloween movie again because Michael Myers, everyone, is dead.
Yes. Michael Myers is dead.
Dr. Loomis can fit into an urn right now.
Yeah.
He is.
But basically it makes sense, right, Erik? These 2 figures who are both together in this movie, Loomis and Michael Myers, and they both perish in a fire. Perish.
Yep.
That's the way it should be, right? That makes sense for an ending to the story.
So here's what I want to ask. If we are we going to briefly say what we thought of Halloween 2, or are we going to do my Marvel Universe Halloween?
Well, should we skip over 3? Because 3 is a completely different
3 doesn't count.
Yeah.
3 doesn't count. A Michael Myers movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And little tip, people, if you want to hear about 3.
Ooh, why?
Make sure you subscribe.
Happy
Make
Halloween.
sure you subscribe to our podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are October.
So we all thought that was the end of Michael Myers. Because Halloween 3, we're not giving much away. Halloween 3 does not have to do with Michael Myers.
Nope.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that later. But I guess if we're going there, there's just, if you guys want to go down the Halloween rabbit hole, go ahead. Have fun if you want. Otherwise, we just finished what's called technically our first timeline for Halloween because Halloween has 3 timelines.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, he's dead. He's gone. He's gone. And Laurie is alive and lives her life. Okay? Halloween 4, screw that. Laurie's dead. Michael Myers is alive and can see. He must have grown his eyeballs back. And he's not burned to a crisp. And those masks, just so you know, are available in any other hardware store. Because that one burned up. You can easily get another one. And Loomis survives. And he's got a burned hand and a little bit of a burned face. So he must have hid under a tarp or something. So,
not to mention he was stabbed in the chest with a scalpel.
Yeah, but he's okay. And Laurie had a kid and then she died. Okay, so Laurie's dead. Then there's another timeline where they're like, Halloween 2 doesn't exist. Halloween, then it's 20 years later and Laurie lives. However, no. Then the next movie, they're like, you know what? No. Laurie's in an insane asylum and she dies in the first 15 minutes and kisses Michael Myers on the lips before she falls to her death. And then they're like, nope. It's amazing. You can pick your own adventure. I love it.
And Erik has not even mentioned, or are you mentioning, they rebooted the whole thing. Rob Zombie directed a whole other version of Halloween.
Reimagined Halloween and Halloween 2. So same storyline.
Yeah.
So it's her sister. It's his sister. Same storyline.
Yeah.
Okay, then we get rid of that. And then we do the latest one, Halloween. Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Mm-hmm. So that one takes place Halloween. After nothing happens to Laurie after the original Halloween. So
the hospital stuff, everything we talked about in this podcast, wipe that out.
Yeah.
Wipe that out.
So you got Halloween, then they call it Halloween again, but it's much, much later. She's older. And then they just, in my opinion, they're just having fun by ruining everything. So in my opinion, if you guys want to watch another Halloween movie, if you want to continue the Laurie Strode story, go ahead, watch Halloween 4, 5, 6, and you just see Donald Pleasance getting a paycheck. Or you skip to, the Rob Zombie one is the first one. Just watch that. It's super violent. And then if you want, watch the latest Halloween, but forget the other 2 because it just, that's my opinion. But I'm going to just say I love Halloween 2. It was my first holy crap slasher movie with one of my favorite scary people, which was Mike Myers. So I'm just going to shortly say I would highly recommend Halloween 2. And watching it almost back to back with Halloween, I was like, wait a minute. I like Halloween even more because some of the things here was like, they're kind of milking that sound effect. And the head turns and stuff. But I still would back to back watch these 2. So highly recommended. It's
not a bad back to back watch, I will say. This is a one of those instances where you have an iconic first movie where then you have a sequel. Think of Jaws and Jaws 2. This, I'm going to agree with you, Erik. I'll say right out, I would recommend Halloween 2. There are definitely suspenseful moments and things like that. But it just, for me, pales in comparison to the first movie. I think that it's got some issues with the pacing because we're kind of having 2 tracks with Laurie in the hospital and then Dr. Loomis detective. You see what I mean? It's cutting back and forth from there. The babysitters, we talked about them last time. I kind of liked Annie and I kind of liked them a little bit more than I'm liking this cast of cannon fodder that we have here with these nurses.
Yeah,
they're trying to quickly, but and I understand it's because they want more kills, so they have to give us more people, so you don't have enough time to spend with each one of them. So I understand, but I did think that it was missing a lot of things like the doctor's office with the fish. Maybe we could have seen Dr. Mixter earlier in the office for a second with his fish tank. And then Laurie's falling asleep for long periods of time. All of these things. And then they're trying to put in this stuff about her being the sister of Michael Myers. I liked the dream sequence, I have to say. But when they were going to the school and the picture and all these things, I got a little lost in the movie because it was trying to do a lot more, whereas the last one was this sort of efficient, really scary thriller, brutal, like death is coming for you experience. And we did get that now. We started to get that here in the end, where he's relentlessly chasing her through this hospital, and even some moments where she was hiding. And I will say the POV at the beginning where he kills Alice, that girl, where we're watching him go through the neighborhoods. You're getting that idea. But I had my issues with pacing. I had my issues with some of the style and framing. I could really tell when John Carpenter was stepping in, I think, to do some of these things. And so I will recommend it because it has a lot to offer, but I'm going to say it's a mild recommend. I'm not like you. I'm not like you need to see Halloween 2. I would say you can skip Halloween 2 if you want to, if you're satisfied with Halloween. But that's where I'm at.
Yep, I agree.
Mild recommend.
I agree with you. I like, if you want more of it, yes, but then stop. Please stop after that.
Please stop. Like I said, sort of like how Jaws and then Jaws 2. Jaws 2 is it's an okay movie.
You don't need Jaws 2, right? The same experience.
But now, Eric, we need to have a rating for this movie.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a rating, and we don't have a rating yet for our podcast, like something to give, like, this is, people will go 5 stars.
No, you're right.
10 out of
10. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't have a rating. I'm going to agree with you.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
We just have, we have an award. That's it.
Oh, an award for this.
Yeah. There's no rating. It's just an award system. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's
So
the
this
award?
one gets the Dr. Mixter Award. So
Dr. Mixter
yeah.
Award.
Or, I mean, if you really want a system, I guess it would be, I'm going to say 7.5 out of 10 syringes.
Ooh.
One of them's not quite full.
Syringes. That's a good one.
It's it's still got some, it's halfway, stuff like that. Nope.
I like that.
7.5 out of 10.
Because there are syringes in this movie.
Yeah. 7.5 out of 10 of this.
Count them up. Yeah. Count up the thing.
I like Dr. Mixter.
And one last note, people should know Erik is doing the podcast in a great shirt with some skeletons on it. I love it.
In honor of where it was shot, it has orange palm trees on a black background.
Palm trees, because it's Haddonfield, Illinois.
Yes.
All right, great. So, Erik, we've gone to Haddonfield, Illinois, and we've survived Halloween.
Never going
in
back.
Haddonfield. Both of us were never going back. But that was our rating for Halloween and Halloween 2. But we want to hear what you thought about Halloween and Halloween 2. We know people who like these movies have a lot of opinions about the Halloween movies. So you can reach out to us on midnightcinemapod.com. You can listen to this podcast on any of the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple. We're out there. Please rate us and review us. We got some reviews, and it's great. We'd love to hear from people about what you thought. Erik, I have had a great time talking to you about this movie.
Wait, I think the room's pretty full now. I've been opening up all these air tanks.
Erik, you better...
I'm just going to
end
this podcast with a bang.
No, Erik, don't...
Oh,
Don't do it!